think we are good. Hey y'all, welcome in to another episode of our Sisters Keeper, the live Salisbury Sisters Aftershow. In this episode, this video, we are going to be unpacking episode number 10 from season 7. It's your good sister you love to talk TV with the utterly amazing off camera, but still amazing
Allie Nick, giving it to you when I give it to you, but always in the nick of time.
always in the nick of time. Y'all drop y'all's ratings for the episode. We got a little bit to unpack. I ain't even gonna hold you. I know that this was a Maggie Bush episode, but I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch because I'm still sitting here like, what the hell did I just see? How are you feeling?
Girl, that's how I felt.
I don't know. Like I'm really at a loss. I'm trying to process. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat.
Yeah, it didn't do it for me. It felt this. I literally was watching the episode, and when it went off, I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Not the thank you, Jesus. Y'all, I'm actually traveling right now, so you'll notice there's a very different background. I have been traveling. I will be traveling for another week. So next week, y'all see me in another complete, utter different background. So I appreciate y'all bearing with us on that, or at least with me on that. Allie is braving the Florida, whatever. This not even the Florida summer. This ain't even hurricane season, and y'all getting all that weather.
Girl, it started last night. I didn't even know it was supposed to rain, but shoot,
Ciao.
yeah.
Global warming, okay. Tracy B said, shout out to Maggie Bush for this episode. So you was feeling it. Let me go ahead and give everybody some shout outs. Y'all drop y'all rating. Shout out to the members in the chat. Lynn Williams, Erica James. How are you? Kimberly Felder. No Money Green Tay's gonna be popping in soon. Shari P. Hey boo hey. And Wednesday Talks, Keisha, Mel, Queen Kayla Boo, Cheryl, Janae, Tam B, Angela, the Real Pink Beauty, what's up, Boo? Hey, Sierra. Hey, Dee Dee. Hey, Dominique. Hey, Laverne. Hey, DNC Greatness. Hey, to our wonderful moderator, Vaughn C. Hey, Dominique. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Naps for Days. Hey, Cheryl D. Hey, Lavivian. I'm sorry, Lavivian. Um, okay, not Erica James. It's the 0.1 for me. Why is she like this? And I love it.
I
And she's
guess
over
I
there
ain't
trying to
gonna
get me
hold
together
you.
on Twitter, shading me about my Mia Copa props. Hey, boo, welcome back. We missed you last week. Tracy B gave it a 6. Wednesday Talk gave it a 5. Mel gave it a 4.5. Ciao. Demetria gave it a 4. Hoo hoo hoo. Lynn gave it a
Mm,
6. Dominique also gave it a 6. Queen Caleb gave it an 8. Keisha gave it a 7. Naps for Daves gave it a 6. Alicia Green Scott gave it a 3. Angela said a 7. Ciao. So yeah, it's given that it's kind of, well, there was a couple high numbers, but everybody for the most part is hovering around the midpoint, I guess, right along with us, Allie. I know it's not the worst
mm-hmm.
episode, but it just felt like it was a lot going on.
It was. It was. Yeah. I ain't even gonna hold you. I gave it like a 3.8, maybe between 3.8 and 4.
Really?
I did.
Hey, you got Mel.
And
Welcome
there's
in, boo.
several reasons why.
Go ahead. What's the reasons?
One of the reasons is this editing. That was so
Mmm.
obvious and they did the same thing last week with the Fatima and Zach scenes. And did the exact same thing this week with they had on the same clothes. She go to class, come back, she got on her robe again. He just come back from Gary's office. He got on the clothes. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It
And
feels really
please stop
hard to
having
track
Fatima make
time.
this. Yes,
And I don't
it
know if
really
it's
does.
because Tyler has already built in a culture where he's so slow that part of it's jarring because we don't expect so much time to pass, but then also it does feel like they're mismanaging the time.
They're mismanaging the time. Even the scene with Andy when she called you, they was just with Gary and Penelope. They cut to Andy and Jordan, only for her to tell her. I mean, only for her to tell him, I'm on the way to your house." We don't care. That scene
Right.
was not even needed.
Right. Right. Hey T, welcome in, boo. Tanya says I give it a 4 to 5, close to 5. Zach hitting Gary did it for me. Hey Shari, welcome in, honey. Gary deserved to get punched, but I'm still waiting on Zach to get a couple licks that he's owed by the universe. So Zach hitting Gary didn't do it for me, but I understand how it could have done it for you. So I ain't even gonna take that away from you. Um,
Erica,
yeah.
get out my head. Get out my head,
This is
sis.
why we friends.
I'm gonna tell you what I wrote in my what I put in my phone for my notes. I said I am conflicted. One, Gary deserved to get punched because he loves putting his hands on women. I said, but secondly, when is Zach going to get his ass beat?
Yeah. Zach has laid too many haymakers, similar to Jordan Baker over on All American, that like were kind of unfounded and just because he felt like he can. So now I'm still waiting for him to catch an ass whooping. So it's not him giving out any, even if they're deserved ass whoopings moving forward. I'm just like, but you still owe me. It's almost like the friend who borrowed money from you and they hit the lottery and they don't pay you back, but they buying up a bunch. So it's like I can't really be happy for you buying up all this designer, whatever the hell, and you owe me $1,000. I'm gonna
Yeah,
need $1,000 back first. You know, or that's like the
facts.
best analogy I can
And
give y'all
then
because I don't actually loan out money. If I would give you money, I'm
that
gonna
was a
give you
great
money. Carrie
great
says, "Thank
analogy.
you,
And
Erica."
then
What'd you say, Ella?
yeah, and then Zach touches the gun. And then Zach touches the gun.
Girl, we're gonna have to really unpack that. I feel like that's
We gonna
also a
unpack it.
thing because why? Why? Who? You suppose this is what I can't see, and I'm not. I'm about to. Y'all, I gotta pop out for a second, and I'm gonna be right back on this live. And when I tell you, I have nothing but rage in my heart for the fallacy that we keep being given, right? When it comes to the so-called quote unquote gangsters, the quote unquote ghettos, the quote unquote like I came from something so I understand and I'm trying to do better, yada yada. If you came from that, if you can't like I even know that. The little black girl from Baltimore who went to private school but lived in the hood, like literally lived in the hood. I know not to touch. Why are you putting your fingers on somebody else's gun? Not only that, a psychopath's gun. Who cares that you took the bullets out? You put your fingerprints on a weapon that you do not know whose body is on this weapon. That has to be the dumbest that so like Zach, I don't believe you. You're one of those little good boys who went to jail for some dumb stuff because you can't be a gangster like you claim. Fatima, you also can't be a gangster like you claim. Like, we're gonna unpack that because I think that that was probably the one thing that once I saw it, maybe that's also part of it. Maybe that's part of like, I think I disassociated from the episode the moment Zach did that. I was just like, none of this is real. None of this is real.
I First of all, anybody who tells you you say I'm gonna kill you and they give you the gun to do it, this is not somebody you want to mess with. Gary is psychotic. And then when I saw Zach touch that gun, oh yeah, I took the bullets and the one out the chamber. I'm like, shut up.
Shut your
You did
ass up.
nothing.
It's so stupid. Like at this point, I don't want to hear it. For everybody who's running around these internet streets talking about Zach, just give Zach a break. Like Zach can't catch a break. Like oh my god. Like let Zach be happy. Oh, Zach don't want Zach to be happy. Like this is how you know that Zach cannot choose peace. Zach only knows struggle and strife. Zach only knows stupidity. And I don't want to hear it. I promise you, every comment moving forward that says, "Oh my God, can Zach just get a break? Erica just let up off of Zach." Zach won't choose peace for himself, so I can't choose peace when it comes to interacting with him. How about that? Okay? He literally chose this. He's going back to jail next season, and this is going to be why. And he did it to himself. There ain't nobody else to blame. There is no scapegoat. There is no excuse. He did not have to put his fucking hands on that gun. Tell me I'm lying.
No lies spoken.
Keisha Bellamy said, in fact, Erica, Zach touching that gun didn't make no sense. Not a bit of sense at all. The same amount of no sense that was made, like, okay, you tee off on him, you knock his jaw loose. Is that going to... I know this is not funny. This is how my brain works. So at least y'all get to know me a little bit better. Like, this is not Sonic. You are not Knuckles, and you are not knocking any kind of rings out of his fucking head. You're not going to get your money just by swinging on him. You're not going to get your money back by knocking his head off. So, like, what are we talking about here? None of it made sense. The whole interaction don't make no damn sense. And Fatima, this is your king? Child. I can't.
It's so sad.
Between that and then Fatima, you want me to get my cousin? Please.
Please. I'm so tired of that.
Please.
Leave Madam alone.
This episode was so unserious to me now. When I really think about it, this episode was beyond unserious. Did we get everybody's ratings?
I think we did.
Zach gets all the breaks. That is literally right, Naps for Days. But the way that I get tens of comments a day talking about how Zach just needs a break so bad. And oh my God, just let Fatima and Zach be happy. Oh my God, like let up off of Zach. Like Zach has it the worst. Zach is literally the golden child of a series that's supposed to be about women. Y'all need to be fucking for real. Every single thing that we see happen to him, he chose. He literally picks his struggles. The personification of picking his struggles. This murder case that he finna have, he has nobody to blame but him. And that's including Gary. Because you know who you dealing with. You knew who office you walked into. And as Allie so eloquently put it, this man, after you said I'm going to kill you, handed you a gun and dared you to do it. I hope you enjoy this time in jail. I hope you go and think about your choices, okay?
That is funny.
Wednesday Talk says, when did he do all that? He had the gun for 2 seconds. But no, he had the gun for 2 seconds. They had to tell us in the dialogue that he took out the one in the chamber. Gary wasn't going to shoot you, Zach.
And now I'm just starting to believe that everything that Gary does is calculated. Because the fact that he just set the gun on the desk and Zach picked it up, I'm like, to me, there's a reason he did that.
Honestly,
that
Ellie,
wasn't just
by chance. Can see it. I can see it. Like, we're never gonna be free again. He is like 10 steps ahead shooting backwards on that. Even when we think that he's losing, the FBI has yet to come to his fucking office. He has a gun with multiple bodies on it that now he has and I don't even know if he has bodies on it. I'm going to just go ahead and assume that there's bodies on it, because if you see a gun, we're going to assume that there's bodies on it. Now you have Zach's DNA. You already was conspiring with Declan or whatever the hell his name is last episode. For whatever plan y'all had in motion. Now, everything that Gary's doing is planned. And all I'm gonna say is this y'all's king? Y'all got it. When I tell y'all I'm off the Zach boat, I can't do it no more. Cut the show. Take me off. I am so done. He's so stupid. My God. But we gonna go into it, y'all. This episode was a lot of I don't know. Um, I wish that they would have handled the sister circle dissension that's coming a little bit better. It felt very clumsy to me. Uh,
Hmm.
it's just so many things in this episode, and I'm not trying to be hypercritical, but it's a lot. Allie, you want to go
Yeah, I
through
don't
the
mean.
comments, and I will be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we gonna get it popping. Right, you go handle your business. Now, the ones who gave the show a high rating, like anything a 6 and above, can you put in the comments what did it for you? Because it was hard for me to get through this episode, even though there were some highlighted moments. So, for anybody new that's coming in, Erica had to go run an errand right quick. Excuse me, and she'll be back on the live momentarily. And I'm gonna just go through some of the comments and see what y'all saying. I'm glad that Tiffany Banks put this in the chat because someone sent it to me, but I have not listened to it yet. And it's where Crystal is talking about how toxic um, Fatima and Zach's relationship is, and how our community pretty much have normalized toxicity. And I'm glad. I think this is really the first time I've heard her speak those particular words about that relationship because the fandom just refused to acknowledge or just call it for what it is. But I'm glad she did come out and speak out about that. So I can't wait to listen to it. Let me see. Tracy B said Gary raised my rating to the 6. I ain't gonna hold you, Tracy. Like it's been Gary for me this whole season, even though he is Satan and he is Lucifer himself. The way that Cheeto is portraying Gary in this moment is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. TJ Johnson gave it a 7. Okay, what was your reasoning for giving it a 7? What did it for you? What made you give it that rating? When Tay Talk said the episode was all over the place. It was like 8 different people wrote each scene. Girl, that is the perfect description. That is the perfect description about how this episode was. It just felt really weird. And it just felt like certain moments they were trying, I guess, to set us up for, but I can't really grasp the purpose. Like even having Tenderoni Trey come to the salon when it's normally closed. I'm just like to drop off a package for Karen to almost mace him and only for him to say, I'll put up your cameras for you. I'm like, you know what? I'm starting to want Trey to just be seen and not heard because he's not giving anymore the way he was in the beginning. I just like to look at him because he is fine, but I'm not understanding what these writers are trying to do. Oh, Orange Pepper said right, and the fans came for Crystal for speaking the truth. Are you serious? That was on Twitter. I try not to be on Twitter like that because I will allow myself to become a different person over there, and I don't want to cuss people out. I'm trying to, what I'm saying, refrain from that. And Twitter is just the ghetto. Twitter is the streets, and I try my best not to even venture over to that side of town. Now we're gonna get deeper into the scenes once Erica come back. We still gonna give y'all the our sisters keeper what we normally do, but I'm just gonna hit on a few things that people are talking about. I ain't gonna go in too much detail about it. Keisha Bellamy said, "Yeah, what was that scene with Trey and Karen? What was it for, sis? That's what I want to know. I love seeing him when he's on screen, but I was just like, y'all could have kept this." Sade Foster, I hope I pronounced your first name correctly.
I'm back for a few
You said
seconds.
even the guys. Oh, okay. I was
Sorry.
reading Sade Foster comment. She said even the guys getting together, like I just couldn't find the purpose in the scenes. Hated it.
So let's talk about that before I gotta do something real quick, y'all.
Okay.
Let's talk about the intercuts between the girls and the guys, and I got what they were trying to do. I think that that's a great example of like it was really just poorly executed for me. The back and forth didn't make any kind of sense. And aside from Andy revealing that she actually does love Jordan but didn't actually reveal that to him, it gave no point. Like nothing that was said actually gave any points. I think the two things that I took away from those scenes was Andy actually does love Jordan, so she's in it for the long haul. Cool, 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 girl. Whatever. You actually really just love his dick. I don't think that you love him, but all right. And Sabrina has found her damn voice at work, and she's about to find her voice within this group because she gave Karen the nastiest look when she was ordering that food. And I'm like, okay, so y'all planting the seeds there. But for the guys, Rich, you talking about you gonna be Uncle such and such forever, but just last episode, you paid these damn kids dust, sir. You paid these kids dust. You act like you didn't even know that they existed. Now you at the damn juice bar showing them the new desserts and but you sat over there sulking with Daniela's ass, making the dinner so awkward and so weird so that Sabrina and Tony would be as uncomfortable as possible. Like, what are we talking about here? Jordan, we get it. You love Andy. You have always loved Andy. It ain't giving what you think it gives, but okay, we'll take it. And Tony, leave Daniela's ass. That's it. That's it. I don't know. What you think, Allie?
Well, first of all, I don't even like or care about the guys that much to have them in a scene by themselves playing cards and smoking cigars. This is not a scene from The Best Man. And that's what I felt like they was trying to give us. I don't care about them.
Yeah.
Then, like I told you, girl, get out my head because if you looked at my notes, I clearly said, "Oh, so now Uncle Rich has personalized handshakes with his niece and his nephew when just last week you were so disconnected from kids. You acted like you didn't give two damns about Tony's children.
Not two dams. Couldn't find up to
Now you
give.
Uncle Rich. Nah, now you Uncle Rich. Now you giving real good handshakes. Now you're bragging about how they was, playing Danny and got her for her necklace. I was just like, did Maggie write last week's episode?
No, she didn't. And that's one thing that really stuck
She
out to
did.
me in this episode in general. It's like, I don't know if I believe that they actually had a writer's room. I don't know if they had a traditional room where they like break story and decide upon things. It
Mhm.
feels like they have like had to like phone each other or maybe via Zoom say, "Oh, this is what I had did in my episode," and then go with it because so much of it feels like the continuity is still off.
Erica, this is so pleasing to me because the fact that we have not talked about this episode,
At
and
all.
if I literally have the same thing in my notes. I said it literally felt like, okay, I'm be in this office, you in room like a studio, you in studio ABCD. Okay, you have episodes 1 3 5, you have 7 8 9. All right, boom, this is the idea. Come up with something. And when you have to phone a friend, phone a friend.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there is no way, and knowing how a writer's room work, there is no way that these people were together in one space, shared ideas, and formulated episodes. I cannot be convinced of that
Yeah.
because, as you stated, the continuity is so far off. I don't mean like a little bit; it is so far off.
Yeah, and those scenes I think proved it. Not even proved it. It just made it like blaringly clear. But then also there's little things of like them repeating certain things or like rewording something that they might have said in a previous episode in a different way. And that's the thing is like to know that Maggie wrote this episode I know some people are like ranking it below a 5. I don't know if I could do it that low because there are parts that I'm like, okay, I get. And then because I have this understanding of like behind the scenes, I'm like, okay, y'all clearly are in a writer's room. And she clearly had to take the baton from what was given to her before and work with that. And from what she was given, did she do that bad of a job? Not necessarily, but we're already on this real ridiculous ass path. So it kind of sucks. I don't know. Those are just some of the thoughts that's coming
Yeah.
to my mind because I actually didn't even take any notes. These are all the things that just like stick out or stuck out to me from this
I had
initial
to write.
watch.
I had to write them down because I was like, this is a lot that's going on, and I don't understand. I think for the most part, I think Maggie has written my favorite episodes of this season. It just it just felt like when somebody give you a task and they get pissed off because you're not doing it correctly and they take it back and try to perfect what you have on the paper. That's what I feel like she did. I don't even feel like this was probably her assigned episode. It was like
Mm,
she probably just took and tried to make it right what
try
was
to make
on
it
the
work.
paper. Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that. I could totally see that. Hey, Candy loves to talk TV. How are you, boo? And hey, Shaquasia, welcome in, boo. Um, I think that the back and forth with the guys and the girls was probably the worst of the whole episode. It
Mhm.
felt so completely unnecessary. Not enough of story was actually pushed in any of the dialogue that was actually communicated. I don't know what they were trying to say about the Karen character by her behavior in that episode because I didn't. I mean, not the episode, that particular part of this episode because I don't think it was too much for her to ask for food. Like she does not drink, she cannot drink. She's carrying damn twins. So when you say a little something, it's not unreasonable for the pregnant person to like actually have a meal. But I could see, Sabrina being the passive girl who doesn't speak her mind and I don't know, like her even making a comment of like, well, how much will ordering this food cost? I'm like, well, Karen, why didn't you pay for it? But so I'm like, I don't understand what they was supposed to do for the Karen character. We are already established that Danny ain't, she's always going to not be. So, I mean, that
Mhm.
continued to ring true. You, I guess, are trying to tell me that Andy actually is falling in love, but I don't believe that because she doesn't sell me on that. Like, Andy is just so damn surface that even her saying, you know what, I think I love him, oh my god, still doesn't ring true yet. And Sabrina, I don't know if part of your journey to healing, you never using your voice, being that you need your girlfriends to validate that you use your voice in the office. Like, so the whole thing just feels like we didn't need to do it. Did I just read that whole scene?
That's really what you did, and I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I don't, and honestly, I do not believe that Andy loves Jordan. I believe
Mm,
that just the way her and Danny were talking about, about the giving head, I think he satisfies her in a sexual way that she enjoys. And I do understand that sometimes, people can confuse love when it's just really good sex.
right,
If you're not grounded,
girl.
if you're not grounded emotionally.
Child.
And a lot of us have been there.
Child. I will never. Well,
A lot of
I
us
have
have
already
experienced
forgiven
that.
myself, but the man had a personality of a fucking thumb. Got the only thing that kept me there. And I didn't even realize it. Whole time I'm thinking like, oh no, this is working. Like this is great, girl. What are you talking about? Nothing.
Girl,
What
let me
does he
tell
have
y'all,
to
and this
offer in
ain't no diss.
conversation? Nothing. He has the personality of a thumb, but an amazing tongue. Like that's it. That's it. That's the tagline.
That rhyme too. Um, I'm gonna tell you about how I am. Like sex, we all grown. Amazing sex is amazing sex, but what I don't want is sex that has the possibility to make me crazy. And I've had like two or three of those experiences. And it'd be so good you gotta try it a second time. But after that second time, I cut them dudes loose. I cut them loose. Cause you ain't about to, as the old saying go, you ain't about to have me in the daylight looking for you with a flashlight. If your sex is that good and your tongue that good, stay the hell away from me. I don't want mid sex. I want great sex. I don't want crazy sex. Keep that over there.
I mean,
I
I
don't want it. I don't want it. Nope, I don't want it.
okay, what if it's attached to a great guy? Like that's my stipulation now. Like you could
Okay,
go to the
okay.
mountaintops, but it just has to be with a good person. The problem is most of it is attached like it's like demonic dick. It's like a plethora of demonic dick out here. Like just unlimited amounts. I
Okay,
don't actually
you
mind the
make sense.
crazy if there's a good person behind it.
If it's someone that I'm going to be in a committed relationship with, okay, then that's fine. But at that time in my life, I wasn't trying to be committed to anybody. And I'm like, I can't be acting like this over somebody who
Oh
might be giving
yeah,
that to
Ellie.
another woman. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's where I was. So I'm like, nah, you are dangerous and you got the possibility to turn me into these locomotives running around here. I'm good, bro. Stay over there. Thank you for the experience. And I always have something to remember you by. But you can't be in my life. Mm-mm.
Sade said, "Not you had to double back, Allie."
I did, y'all. I had to do. You gotta do it twice. It's only right. It's only right to
To
do it
make
two
sure,
times. And then after
as
that second
Karen would
time,
say,
we
to make
done.
sure you show.
I had to be shook because baby, that was a little too good to be a little one time thing. I got to try it again. Okay, you are great at what you do, sir. Congratulations. We're done.
Congratulations. Go ruin somebody else's life. Thank you.
Ruin somebody else's life.
Um. Okay, going back to the scene. So that's what's happening on the girl side. And then on the guy side, it's like, Rich, you are professing that Sabrina is the right one for you, but you clearly say that y'all are on a different path. So clearly she's not the right one for you. Like, so why are we doing this? And Tony, like, blink twice if you don't realize the train that's about to hit your life that is Daniela. She is here to ruin and annihilate and destroy. You are bigging up the fact that she's going to take them to the game begrudgingly. Like, she's nasty. And like, even how she described his kids to the girls, I'm like, girl, these kids are literally not doing anything to you. If anything, they're playing with your
Mm-mm.
ass, and you want to like, she's just so nasty and so rude.
I enjoyed that scene with them kids. I enjoyed every minute of it. I said, because you know what? Kids know when you feeding them BS. They know when you feeding them BS. They know when you really don't want to be around them. They catch the vibe. They catch the energy. And yeah,
But you running around here painting a narrative as if the kids are the problem, where she is literally the problem. Tony got to pay for the therapy bill because you just are so distraught after having one goddamn juice lunch with his kids.
child, I don't know. I felt like maybe that I know Tony took them to Rich's juice bar, but I'm like maybe a better part would have been maybe them having an outing or going out somewhere. I don't think that was the best environment for Danny to try to like talk to these kids. Well, I know when y'all first met me, I mean I understand it, and that's the elephant in the room how they were first introduced to her. But I'm like, take them out somewhere. Let them have fun. Them just sitting there on their phones, like, I mean, I guess I see what Maggie was trying to do with it, but
Even
I don't
that, it's
know.
like that's too. There is no saving Daniela in this kid storyline. She don't like these little kids. She automatically refers to them as little demons, little everything but their damn name. It don't matter if they go to Disneyland. It don't matter if they go to McDonald's. It don't matter if they go to Ruth's Chris. The hoe is not checking for his kids, which is automatically a no. Like, I'm gonna need us in 2024 and beyond to stop dating people that the red flags are already just there. Stop trying to paint them hoes orange and or pink. They're there. She don't like your kids. If the biggest problem that you have in a relationship that is only 4 months old is that your girl does not like your two kids that came from a previous marriage, y'all are dead in the water. There is no park that's going to salvage this. There is no medium. They can't come to your house. They can't go to her house. Like, and she has no other kids in her life to like. balance it out either, or to show that she's even capable of it. Daniela is selfish, she is narcissistic, she is trifling, she is ghetto, and she does not deserve nice things. That's it. It don't matter how these kids got a second introduction to her, I feel, because how she talks about them, how she has such resistance, it's like automatic. It's not like she don't even give the kids a chance to do anything to her.
Now I will say that. Now that goes back to the disjoining of this episode. Now them kids, I think that they were, I ain't gonna say normal kids because I ain't met no kids like that. But like I said, I think kids pick up on that vibe. And Danny has only had negative things to say about them. And then when she's in their presence, I just think we can't be friends. They don't want to be your friends. Them kids know how you feel about them. Like they, and I know they bad or whatever the case may be, but they know how Danny feels about them. And then there was a scene where, Tony was like everything was going good. Then when he gets to the card game, he was like, well, Danny just gonna have to understand, that I'm a dad. That's why I'm like real, like basically he's saying he's real particular about who he gets serious with. And I'm like, well, you were serious about her before your children were introduced to this woman. So what does that say about you? Because
Exactly.
she definitely have an issue with your children.
Exactly. And now all of a sudden we pumping the brakes on getting serious. But sir, you've been going balls to the damn wall since we met you when it came to her. You've been applying pressure since you entered the damn scene. And now all of a sudden you want to be like, why are they even meeting your girlfriend if that's the case? If you taking it
Hmm.
slow. And on
Yeah.
that note, y'all, I'll be
I want
right back.
everybody to catch that. But yeah, I want everybody to catch that when Tony made that statement about how, he's been so on Danny this whole time, and now it's like, oh, I gotta pump the brakes because I gotta be careful about who I'm serious with. But I'm like, dude, you've been serious about this woman while she was in a relationship. You were actively pursuing her, and that's what I was saying with for me why this episode only got like a 4 because it was just very challenging when we already know things that have happened in the previous seasons or previously, and then we get here and it's like this is something completely different. Like Tony has never wanted to slow down, but all of a sudden he wants to, and I'm not really even sure why. I don't hate him for it, but it's definitely interesting. Kitty said, "Them kids, let me tell you, the relationship would have been over. Is no way I'm putting up with them kids. Oh hell no." I get it. I am definitely not excusing their behavior. Absolutely not. But I think kids are very intuitive. Like they know. They pick up on that energy when it's not right. And I just think they have picked up on Danny. And I think that she can't manipulate them. She can't, say certain things that's gonna get them on her side, quote unquote. She may be able to do that with adults, but the kids don't want anything from her in the sense of other than materialistic gain. But yeah, Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Tiffany Banks, for letting me know. If I happen to go out, can y'all place it in the comment section? Cause yeah, we working on this stuff here. It's some bad areas and bad Wi-Fi going on. So Queen Calabu said, "Why the hell did she let that little girl take her necklace?" I understand that. I understand that either. I'm just like, you literally took off your necklace and gave it to this little girl. I wish. Ain't no way in the world. Naya, are you saying that you think that Tony is up to something? Is that who you're referring to? I'm saying everybody say them kids bad. Yeah, they bet. Yeah, Janae Jennings. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Your first name. You said them kids bad, but they clocked in. Absolutely. It was a rainbow necklace. Okay, that's an interesting perspective about Tony. Then gonna tell Tony she need to get her necklace back. Like, girl. Yeah, and I thought it was interesting how Rich was making jokes about it when they were together to play cards. Like, oh yeah, like she got Danny for her necklace. I'm like, ain't that cute about that? And then Tony over there looking like, yeah, everything is good. Like, I think they're getting along. I'm like, sir, are you detached from reality? Where you been? Danny don't like your kids, and your kids don't like her. Erica James. It was given shiny and cheap. Cleo Cuddy said, why isn't anyone talking about the fact that twins in two different sexes are called fraternal? I think that people on a certain side of the conversation is stating that, but you have a large number of people believing that because the children are in two different sexes, that they were fathered by two different men, which is not necessarily true. And I'm gonna be real with y'all, and I had somebody ask me like, why don't I really make videos about Karen and this pregnancy? It's because y'all, I'm sick of it. I think we found out that Karen was pregnant in December of 2021. We are in March of 2024. Tyler Perry needs to be punched in his Adam's apple for dragging this damn storyline this long. Honestly, I don't care who the father is. It could be Casper the Friendly Ghost for all I care. I'm just tired of this storyline. Like, I really am. But I do understand what you're saying. Kimberly Felder said he couldn't feel the tension. He is oblivious. Completely oblivious. And I'm like, sir, do you not know your own children? Because when Tony got back to the table, these kids were not engaging with Danny. And for him to say, yeah, I think they like her, I think it's good. I'm like, Tony, baby, go buy a vowel because you ain't got it. Kenny Ford said, hey, y'all, tonight's episode was boring. Tonight's episode was something. It was definitely something. Naya, dang, I didn't realize it was that long. Girl, I'm getting a couple of videos together, so I had to go back and do my research because I be trying to have receipts because people love receipts. And I went back to the episode where Karen told Zach that she was pregnant, and I went to go look at my review that I did. Excuse me, and I was like, oh my god, this was in December of 2021. That's how long it's been. And it's crazy that we have had no conclusion to this particular storyline and we're still running with it almost 2.5 years later. It's ridiculous. Keisha Bellamy, yeah, it was like the fourth season. Right, right. Tam B said, I'm behind. Tony didn't really consider his children and how they would react to Danny or how Danny would react to them. I agree with that. I agree with that. And so everybody who just coming in, Erica is here but not here. She had to go run an errand for a brief moment, but she will be back and we will be engaging in our Sisters Keeper like we normally do. Carrie Marshall said, and they don't know the difference. They just don't want it to be Zach. That you hit it on the head. And it's so sad because like if I showed y'all how many messages and DMs I get from people, which I don't. engage in conversation about people who would literally want these children to be deceased just as long as they're not Zach. So if it's Zach's baby, get rid of him. I'm like, what the hell? Like, honestly, what the hell is going on? It's wild out here in these sister streets. Demetrius said, I think everyone is tired of the pregnancy. I believe so too. I think we all, hell, we should be paid for enduring it this long. I know I be praying on Gary downfall, but I don't know what the show would be without him. Sade, you said a whole word, because that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I think the evolution of Gary's character has been nothing short of amazing. Even though the writing hasn't been all that spectacular, the way we have been able to see him from the first season until now, it is like one of the it to me, and don't come for me, y'all, but it truly for me has been the best character development on a character that I've seen. Gary has went from bad to worse. Gary has went from Earth to the third level of hell. Okay, it has been amazing to watch because even though this man irks the hell out of me, I enjoy him because he's bringing it. Like he really is bringing it. Kitty Mia said, "I love when Zach smacked Gary. That felt good. One thing about Gary, he hit below the belt when he came for Zach. You know what? I mean, after Zach put hands on the man, is anything really below the belt? I mean, he did call Fatima a B, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did. But to me, that's Gary. Gary has Mimi Love Speaks. That's exactly how I feel. Gary has turned into a super villain, and he and Cheeto is playing the hell out of this villain. So to everyone that came in, like I said, Erica is here. However, she had to run an errand, but she will be back momentarily. So as of right now, I'm not really going too much into detail about certain scenes from tonight's episode. I'm just reading the comments, engaging, hitting on certain things, but not going too far with it. Um, Demetria says Penelope was starting to look smaller than Karen, and Penelope's been carrying her child for like 10 months. Yeah, like, why is Penelope still pregnant? But I guess I understand why they kept her pregnant because of tonight's episode. Gary needs to be in prison because one now I will say this. I said, Penelope, baby, you must not want to live because the fact that Penelope came in there bold like that, I knew something was going to happen to her. I knew something was going to happen to her. But the way Gary pushed that woman, because really, if y'all listen to my review for the trailer breakdown, I said Gary would chop this woman up and politely put her in his desk. He don't give two damns. And then you push her, we see all that blood, and he's just standing there like this ain't nothing. And if y'all saw the preview that came on after the show, Gary Gary already had a cleaning crew in there to clean that mess up. And by the sound of it, he was like, and get rid of this. I'm gonna just say whole because I think he said the other word. Basically, like get rid of this whole body. And I was like, oh, wait, get rid of her body. What you mean? Like you took her out? I said, I Lord, Gary is diabolical. Sade, now my friend Erica James said 65. She been pregnant for a long time. And not to mention, I think when we were first introduced to Penelope, wasn't she 6 months pregnant? Or so she was 7 months pregnant. 3 months now went by. Chick, you 10 months. And then we found out from Andy another month has passed. So this heifer 11 months pregnant. She bled out. Yeah, like I felt bad about that. I felt bad about that. Angela, you are right. Gary doesn't have a conscience at all. Like the things that this man is able to do without feeling any type of sorrow or remorse, he's textbook. This is the person that you stay away from. Like I said earlier, If somebody tell you I'll kill you, and then that person puts a gun and tell you to do it, you won from them. Them not the people you play with. Emma Johnson said all the new men are boring, really. I would have to agree. I would have to agree with you. Yes, Keisha, Gary has cleaners on payroll. Because I'm like, where the hell y'all came from and how y'all got there so fast? Penelope is a damn elephant at this point. You got Mel. Y'all are a trip. I peeped in the preview too with Gary and the cleanup crew. I'm trying to figure why Penelope even confronted his crazy self. That's that is like the $1 million question of the episode because I could not understand why she was so bold, why she came there the way that she did. Why did you present that picture? And my whole thing is Gary is gonna know that Penelope isn't that bright. He's gonna know that this was Andy. Like straight up, he gonna know this is Andy. Angela says, I pray Andy doesn't go back to him. All right. Well, this is a little spoiler. Some people may already know. Now, I don't know what's going to happen per se, but it appears there's supposed to be some kind of wedding between Andy and Gary. I don't know how we gonna get to that place, and I'm not really letting out a secret because it was in the characters that was going to be presented in season 7, and that was we found out about somebody who was talking to Andy about her upcoming nuptials to Gary. It was a mess. So what the hell we got back here? So we about to see this mess again? A 2.0 wedding between Gary and Andy. Didn't we do this already in season 2 or 3? Season 3. I can't take Andy and Gary no more, y'all. I just can't. They give me a headache every time I see them together. I agree with that, Tam B. She thought he wouldn't touch her because she was pregnant. But little did she know when Tay Talk said Andy Andy ain't that bright either. Andy says Andy not that bright. But I think that Gary knows if anybody had any connections to get that deep into his business, it would be Andy. And to anybody out there, I gotta give when Tay Talk a shout out because anybody who watches Love and Marriage Huntsville, she reviews the show and she does a great job. She is hilarious. She would keep you entertained. I ain't watched the show, I think, since the first season, but listening to her, I'm caught up with everything. And she is absolutely hilarious. Sade Foster said, yeah, I think what we saw was the fake pregnancy birth. You know what? Yeah, we never know. Never know with this show. Keisha Bellamy said Andy is stupid too. She was trying to marry that fool after he dang squeezed the life out of her in season 2. Listen, Keisha, when I tell you, I get it even to this day. I get into so many debates with people that still say well, some people, and this is how you feel, some people feel that Karen was wrong for leaving that wedding. Like, first of all, you tried to squeeze my friend half to death. My friend was almost up to meet St. Peter, and he was going to tell her whether or not her name was in that good old book. And you want me to stick around for this wedding? I think the hell not. I would have been gone too. I'll never forget that episode. That episode was one of the most like emotional episodes for me because during that time I had a friend who was married and her husband was abusive to the point that she almost, took her own life. And it was bad. And she literally was about to do it. And she called me. And I could hear the wind and the rain. And she was about to drive her car into an 18-wheeler, like head on. And I'm like, when you have friends that are in abusive situations, and that's why I really do give props to Karen because I think people forget that Andy was also in an extremely abusive relationship in college. and your friends have to watch you get beat. This man broke your ribs. Ain't no telling what else he did to her. So when Karen was very protective of Andy with Gary, and people was misconstruing that to, oh, she's hating and she's jealous. And I'm like, well, maybe you have never had a friend who was getting abused. That does something to you. Or when you're around somebody who's getting abused and you can't do anything because they feel like, oh, girl, he's not gonna do it again. It was me that did it. I shouldn't have said nothing. And it was just really mind blowing how many people was flipping Karen's love and concern for Andy into her being jealous. And I feel like, Karen really stood on what she believed and stood on business, and she didn't waver. And I was looking at Danny and Sabrina like, y'all really gonna stay here? I really didn't have too much, say for Fatima, because I'm like, you don't know anything. You really just met these people. You don't know half of the stuff that Andy has been through. So yeah, let's see. Angela said Andy has low self esteem and likes playing with fire. I'm glad Karen left that man. Me too. I'm so glad she left. Erica, you would have said the water sprinklers off. I feel you though. I feel you. Demetria said, is Zach running out of money? Why isn't he looking for employment? Demetria says, now, I've gotten a lot of flack because I always say Zach doesn't do anything. Zach got this money. For those who watch the team up, Zach got that building, but Zach don't do any work. Zach does not purchase anything. He does not sell anything. He got these little $2 million. I'm like, you gonna have to pay taxes on them, bro. And then you went and bought two expensive cars. You purchased this duplex. You have a tenant, but Deja be late on her rent. It's a whole lot of stuff going on. Now you have a son who has special needs. You're going to have to pay for therapy. I'm not sure what Zach has been doing with his money. Honestly, I feel like Zach has been divvying out money, but nothing has been coming in. So he's been taking some losses, but there has been no profits at all. And he doesn't do anything. Zach roams around town like he is a billionaire, like he is a multi millionaire. Dude, you got $2 million. That was it. You got your first million, then they called you back and you got another million. That's it. Zach around here like he damn just got money out the butthole and he doesn't. And then y'all help me out because I was so confused. When did Zach invest his money with Gary? I thought that Zach was like, nah, I don't wanna like do business with him because Gary is dirty. Now all of a sudden he actually invested money. I didn't remember. I completely forgot about that if he did do it. I don't remember them talking about that. Tim B said previous seasons he wasn't messing with Gary. That's what I thought. If y'all could have saw my face tonight, I was so confused. Cause I was like, when Zach said, okay, I'm about to call Gary, I said, for what? What you calling Gary for? And then when he went to the office, I was like, oh, he really trying to get in touch with Gary. And when that dude said, I want my money, I said, well, wait a minute. When did that happen? Oh, Tanya Tatum said when Jake was on the show, I think he got Zach to invest some. I could be wrong. That it could be a strong possibility that that happened. Angela said that was an oversight. Remember, Fatima told him not to get in business with Gary. I remember. I vividly remember that. Keisha said he invested at the beginning, probably when they still had Jake from State. Yeah, Jake from State Farm before they did the crossover. Okay, okay, so it was Jake. Okay, that is hilarious. He did it in the earlier season after playing basketball. See, now y'all gonna make me go watch. I'm gonna have to go. What was that, season 4 or season 5? I'm gonna have to go back and look and see because I don't remember that at all. I remember Fatima warning him about Gary. I remember him saying that he would not get in business with Gary, but I do not remember them actually investing with Gary. They are setting Zach up for as a team. I can see that. I can see that because I think I read Zach is supposed to go back to jail, but I don't know if it's supposed to be on Zatima or Sisters. But now that he done touched that gun from Gary, ain't no telling what the hell is that gonna be getting locked up for. And I'm trying to see how that's gonna play out now that he has custody of his son. They didn't show that part. I'm thinking this was a way to express how he got broke. Okay. Naya said yes. Jake told him to set at least 125 to the side. Something I remember that. I remember that. Lord, let's see. When is season 3 of Zatima? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it was for murder. Now that you mention it, Tanya. Let's see. Keisha said, I just thought about that. He touched that dang gun. Y'all know how I feel about that, but I wanted to pop them like, why did you do that? Why did you? And then, and to me, every time I hear Zach talk when he gets serious, he sounds like a superhero to me. Yeah, I took out the bullets. I took out the bullets in the chamber too. I'm out. Like every time, that's all I hear in my mind. But I ain't gonna hold y'all. When Zach punched the hell out of Gary, y'all know what I thought about. This is how my mind works. If y'all could like see me when I'm watching this show, y'all be like, Allie, you have no sense. When Zach punched Gary, the first thing that came to my mind was that scene in the thin line between love and hate when Darnell had pushed Brandy up against that wall and she was like, you put your hands on the wrong woman. That's what I took. The way he hit Gary and the way Gary looked at him, it was like, you put your hands on the wrong man. Baby, if Gary would have said that, I would have hollered. But that's the energy he was giving me. Y'all, I can't wait to talk about the man coming up saying, what's up, throat go back? I hollered. Mimi loves peace. Your Zach voice is undefeated. Cause I promise, every time Zach talks and he try to get serious with somebody, all I hear is superhero. Yeah, that's all I hear. That's all I hear. Let's see. So can we talk about how out of order the Grayson Maurice scene was? Like they just went in on a date when they were on their way to being official. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that scene because when Grayson was first introduced to us, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I thought the man was extremely sexy. Okay, I'm like, okay, he's Tyler be finding these men. He's extremely attractive. I'm like, okay, cool. But I don't think the writers did a great job of really presenting him. I was like, who the hell is he? Is he, Maurice cut buddy? Is this a person that Maurice is supposed to be serious about? Who is he? Then the second time we saw him, in my personal opinion, he was given very much like vibes of control. First of all, you've only known Maurice for a month and you want him to quit his job. I'm not interested in anybody who has like a channel like that, who are presenting themselves like that. I said, well, that's how you met him. So it was okay to meet him that way, but you don't want him to do it anymore. I was like, nah, you giving me very much controlling issues, sir. Then tonight, they on a date. You talked about you wanted to be serious, but you don't know. And then, what I'm saying, the little fan come up who want to take a picture with the Lord his name with the throat goat. And I'm like, what the hell happened? Did it go to commercial and then when it came back, Maurice was there by himself? I don't even remember Grayson making the exit.
They didn't. They didn't show it
I
for
really
me.
don't know what happened. Thank you, girl. Did I miss?
You did not. And it's the brandy for me. The brandy reference. You put your hands on the front. That is exactly how you can sum up that fucking scene. Because it's one thing for you to swing on Aaron, but it's another thing for you to swing on Lucifer himself.
When he punched Gary kind of gave this look like you just put your hands on the wrong one. I said, oh, that's Brandy from Thin Line Between Love and Hate, baby.
Literally. Thank y'all for y'all's patience. I am back. Y'all were talking about a bunch of things. I was listening um in the last like 15 minutes. So I want to go back and touch on a couple of them. I love the arc of Zach is going broke. I love it. I love it. I would love for them to drain as much of the funds they could possibly drain immediately. I would also love for Fatima to not have some kind of nest egg, so drain her ass too. I want them to be poor. I do. I really do.
Damn.
Because the way I have to hear about how this particular couple and then the people within this particular couple need a break so bad, I want them to be stripped of all the things they have been given so that y'all realize exactly how many breaks they have gotten as compared to a person like Karen who has been number 2 on the call sheet, has been an original sister, like who the show is actually supposed to be about. Yeah. They have gotten a mini a break, one of which is financial security that came out of nowhere almost as if it was dropped on them like manna from the fucking sky. Yeah, we're gonna need that back. We're gonna need that back. And then that's when y'all really gonna convince me that this is a couple that we need to ride for, that this is a couple that we need to believe in, because they are literally stumbling on hurdles that they created their damn selves. Let life really hit them. Let being broke actually hit you. Let the struggles that's happening with Michael with his therapy and his behavioral therapy, his speech therapy, all of that, let all of it start to weigh, and then y'all tell me that this is y'all's couple. Let Fatima tell me that this is your king when he poor. Not to say that she's a gold digger, so to be clear, I'm not saying that she's a gold digger, but for them to be struggling, for her to be sacrificing, for them to be experiencing what they are experiencing emotionally off of that they basically caused, and life has not really hit them yet. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for life to go ahead and hit their asses. I'm ready. So guess what, Zach, you hit Gary and not a damn Sonic ring popped out. So guess what? There's no money here. You're not getting that 150 back. Good luck. You might want to go get a job, because you were giving quite a bit when it comes to this real estate business. You wanted to shit on Bryson. You wanted to get out of the business just because he kissed you, which was inappropriate. Sexual harassment, but also you were behaving like a goddamn child. He's the only reason why you were actually in a business, had an office and all of that to begin with. So go ahead and get your ass another job. And you know what, honestly? Take your ass back to the airport. Let's start again. And let's see how this goes. That way.
I'm sure they can find space for him.
How
I'm
you
sure
feel
they can
about them
find
being
space.
stripped, Allie?
You know what? I honestly don't even mind it, and I think the reason why is because how Zach got the money, because it wasn't that he worked for, he put so much effort. No, you got a tip. Another way that Zach got off easy or got to come up easy. And two, how Zach treated people who were there for him after he got the money. And
Yep.
he thought his mess didn't stink anymore because he had money. So
Yep.
yeah, I have no problem. I have honestly no problem with it.
Y'all
I
want Zach
really
to go
don't.
poor? I mean, I'm not really excited for the struggle that it's going to incur for Fatima, but also I think that she really needs to understand what she's getting herself into. And too many people within this fandom specifically do not realize how much money has changed the circumstances and that Zach actually has not changed. So when you take money out of the equation, which it looks like that's the era that we're about to enter in, things are about to get real. Like realer than real. Angela said he couldn't handle
Yeah, and
money
I
when he
think it's
didn't have much. What you
yeah, I was
saying?
literally going to talk about that. I was about to touch on the same comment because I thought about, and I get into these debates all the time with people, and people say, "Oh, Karen only want him for his money," and when they were together, he gave Karen all of his checks. I said, "Let's
Them little
please go
five
back and
checks.
watch. Please go back and watch the episode."
Five checks
Karen
over
broke it
three
down.
years.
What
Child.
he gave her half of the money to get the apartment that she lives in, and after that, he never did anything else in the household financially. When him and Karen got back together after she picked him up from Danny's house, the next day he placed three checks on the mirror. Three checks in 3 years, you could kiss my ass.
Whole ass. Okay.
That ain't nothing.
Not
That
a
is
thing.
that's absolutely nothing. And then when he gave Karen the money after he got his come up, people was like, well, he shouldn't give her nothing. He should. Because for 3 years all you did was lay pipe and do nothing else. Yes, you give her all the money.
Lay pipe and then not
Give
even lay
her
pipe
all the things.
exclusively. You gave me
Okay.
this.
Drippy penis in the words of Erica James.
Hello.
Drip
You
and gave me
gave me
drip.
this gin pop ass penis. Nothing about it was exclusive. Nothing about it was loyal. Half of the time it was infected. Absolutely the hell not. You ain't buy a grocery.
And
You ain't
y'all
pay a
but
utility bill. You ain't buy no car insurance. You ain't pay a car note. You ain't pay no rent. And
nothing.
I'm pretty sure that your ass ain't paid for the antibiotics I needed either. You ain't pay a copay. Mm-mm. So everybody who does like post those comments, they can go ahead and miss me with that because it's like Zach gonna owe her nothing. While you can say that about a lot of stuff, let's be fucking for real. And I think the thing that people be missing out on is like part of the problem or the dissonance. It's not even a problem. Part of the dissonance is Zach claims to be a great guy. Zach claims or portrays himself to be the elite of black men, of like who people should want and like the desirable. So part of that, and if you want to adopt that particular character, is you actually have to behave that way. Y'all want to portray Zach like he's God's gift to women, and then don't require him to behave as such. That don't make no damn sense to me.
Girl. But I was told, and I forget, was it Tanya who told me? Multiple people put it in the chat, but I don't know if you heard it, Erica. But Crystal came out. It's something on BET because somebody sent it to me, and basically what she was saying is that Zatima is a toxic relationship, and our community has oh God, what did she say?
She
And how
said that.
our community. She said that how our community has normalized basically toxicity,
Can
and
somebody
I didn't
please
know this.
send it to me?
Yeah,
Somebody
I
get
didn't
on
know
y'all
this
Zoom
part,
and DM it
but
to me,
they said
please.
that people were coming for Crystal, I believe, on Twitter
Not y'all's
because of
queen.
what she said.
Not your queen.
What? Yeah.
She is
I
your
said people are
queen to
wild.
be. Not Beyonce or BET.
Yeah, girl. I'm gonna have to listen to the whole thing because I am so
Me
interested in
too.
her
I
take
am
on that.
set. Because not her saying what I've been saying this whole time, and everybody been want to turn me every which way but loose.
Cause the slap out.
For the last 4 years, people been trying to turn me every which way but loose.
Yeah,
I
girl.
love it. I love it when the characters come out and they say some because they are actually healthy people or they done been through some stuff and they can see it and they're gonna do their job on screen because that's your damn job. Which is why I have so much respect for Mignon. Like I have so much respect for Mignon playing this character that I absolutely hate because she's playing her beautifully and she is a woman of the Lord. I know that she wouldn't make certain decisions, but she is playing her so
Yeah.
truthfully. She's allowing herself to go there. That tells you that that is an artiste. That is a thespian there. That is a person who is truly giving themselves to the craft. But I really appreciate
Yes.
when some of the actors come out and they speak on their characters and they take themselves out of it because part of their job is to not judge their character, which is how they're able to play it so believably, right? But when they're able
Hmm.
to step outside of that, it's just really, really powerful. And maybe it's just a selfish thing on my end of like, I feel like it's really powerful because I feel vindicated. Cause the way I be standing so 10 toes down and like, yes, Ellie, you be validating me and some other people be validating me, some people in the community, but the way that we are bombarded with certain comments so consistently that are like trying to refute this very real fact, to hear that come out of the actor's mouth, I'm like, thank you. Now we can have a conversation.
Yes. And I don't think it's selfish at all. I believe it's and it going to your point, like when people, wonder how actors get into certain modes or whatever, and that's like the number one thing they talk about is not judging your character. Because your character may do something totally contrary to what you may do, how you think, or how you perceive. So the thing is, okay, you know how this character is, don't judge them. Because now
Mm-hmm.
you can freely give yourself, what I'm saying, to this character in all of their messy, nasty ways. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that to me, I think that's one of the beauties of acting that you can completely become, not just portray, but become someone else because you are not judging anything that they're doing. You're just living through them
Yeah.
or they're just living through you. And I think they all do a great job with that. But I am grateful that Crystal made that point.
Yeah. And just on a side note, still in line with what we're talking about, that is one of the things that I think drew me to acting. I started taking acting classes when I first moved to LA 6 years ago. And I did it because I was like, oh, I have these projects and I want to direct, but I want to be an amazing director. So I was already a writer, I was already a director, but I wanted to be a director that the actors liked, right? Because I've experienced things and it's like, these directors don't fucking get it. Like, I want to be able to speak the actors' language. So I started going to acting classes, and it was there that I learned in the process of like how much you just give. And for me, acting became very therapeutic depending on the character that you're playing because nothing else fucking matters in that moment. Like when you're in the scene, that is it. Nothing else exists. Your life does not actually exist. It's only this character's life. It's only what they're going through. It's only what they're motivated by. And you can truly, like, if you want to do well at it, you give yourself to it. I think we are getting really great examples within Sisters of how this looks, whether it's Mignon, whether it's Cheeto, because I know that Cheeto's having fun. I know that Cheeto is
Oh,
enjoying
yes.
just channeling what could be the worst parts of himself that get tucked away or you might have healed from, but still having to go and dig them up for Gary. And like for the point of like from action to cut, just living in that. I know it sounds kind of crazy, y'all, but it I think that's dope.
It is. It is.
I love that. I can't wait to see. Hopefully, we can find the full clip and I can watch it. Because having Crystal say that, I think is big. To see how this fandom specifically worships her or the idea of her. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's where it's about to be like there's going to be a little bit of cognitive dissonance here because you love how she looks, and I could totally see people trying to silence her for saying it because she is of a person or of a mind to like prioritize mental health, to prioritize health overall, whether it's physical wellness, mental wellness, spiritual wellness. And at the end
Yes.
of the day, a lot of the decisions that her fucking character has made is misaligned with what she would probably deem as sensible for a woman within her position. And it's dope that she's actually speaking to it and she's busting the bubble wide open for y'all and y'all little fantasy of like, let's be for real. And I have always felt like this, and I've said it, that I feel like Sisters is like a conversation about the state of not only black women friendships in America, but black womanhood in America. But we're focusing on the wrong things. The same way that so many people have found it in their heart to make Karen a villain, y'all could have literally been utilizing and channeling this show to learn how to forgive black women, to learn how to accept black women in their anger and their reactions and appreciate it as for them being human. But no, you're still going to go with the same tropes that society has where black women are just supposed to take whatever. And so many people majority of people jumped on the damn bandwagon to bash Karen for the last 4 seasons when your ass could have been embracing her. When Karen is your damn mama, Karen is your damn auntie. Like most black women are suffering with the same things that Karen has gone through, has experienced, but feel like they can't actually express it. They can't actually do the things that Karen did. And that's why I feel like she's such a powerful character, because if given the right mindset, the audience could literally heal and grow. We could grow as a culture just by seeing this particular character. And I think it's brilliant for Crystal to be saying like, yo, Zatima is toxic as fuck. One, they are, but two, that does not mean that you now have to hate them. It just means that you have to audit how you are in relationships and what about you makes this okay. And can we have a conversation about why it's not okay, why there is better, and how you're going to get better for yourself. But we don't want to have those conversations. We want the shallow ones. We want to stay out in the little shallow end. We don't want to go into the deep part of the pool. And we don't want to uncover some that actually is going to free us. Let me get off my high horse.
Those are facts.
Hey, Daniela, welcome.
Those are facts. I agree with that.
I love that. That just made my night. Hearing that just really, really, really made my night. Because even going back to the episode, like watching Fatima, no, I'm going to go to class and you're going to be with Michael, when Zach is trying to pass off responsibility to her. Like, girl, this is stuff that should have been said earlier on in y'all's relationship. I'm glad that you're doing it now, but honey, this needs to already be the expectation. He should not be defaulting to you, period. What was you going to do? Go play basketball? Whatever dumb you said you was going to do, you're going to stay with your son. That's what you're going to do.
Period. I wanted to go play with my boys. Oh, you gonna play with a boy, all right, Michael? Right there.
Right. Literally. Okay, so where are we at in this episode, Allie? What have we... I know y'all were talking about Zach and the money. Yeah, I remember y'all was talking about Zach and the money. I already said I wanted him to go broke. It was completely dumb for him to put his hands on
Maurice and Grayson.
That disjoints to that scene. And it's just like, at this point, for me, I just feel like if y'all are going to give Maurice something, give it to him and give it space to breathe. Like, let it build. The point that you made about us coming back from commercial break and Grayson was completely gone with no conversation, no nothing. It's like, y'all are rushing. At this point, it's giving filler. And I know that he's a supporting character, but again, it could have been done better. And I know Maggie writing this, like, she could have if she was given more time, I think, or I'm gonna go ahead and chalk it off to like she did the best she could with what she was handed. But like, we need more time allotted for this whole storyline with Grayson and Maurice. Specifically, like, I think that you touched upon this, but Grayson, you want him to quit, but you can't take care of him, and you are not sure about if you're gonna get serious, and it has to be the right person. I thought we already said this, like that. This is again, like what we were saying about the lack of continuity. You already made this decision. Maurice is already won for you last episode. So why are we even coming into conversation of like, oh, for the right one, I will, do whatever. But I also want you to quit your job.
Correct. That's what threw me off about him.
Child. Not loser. You got me. It was hilarious.
Mhm. What was? Oh, that's Ace Ventura. Ace Ventura.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not like completely turned off by the storyline with Maurice and Grayson, because I do think that Maurice still has a lot to learn and grow from. Like, while it has never been explicitly said, Maurice seems like to me he has never been in a healthy relationship. And I do think that Grayson could be that for him. And I'm here for that conversation, specifically within queer love, because it can be so transient, or at least that's how it's described a lot. Like, people be hopping people within the queer community. And part of that, is from a insecurity of like if people are really into you and all of that. So I would love to see that actually explored. But for the amount of time that they're giving, the story elements that they're saying, it's like, y'all might as well not give it to us if you're not going to give it to us in full.
I agree with that. Yeah, because to me, it's like it's already a minor story.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, just give it to us. They have this
Yeah.
thing. We come back, we turn around, he's gone, and we're trying to figure out what happened. We see Maurice is emotional, and it's like, and I guess for me, I'm in that place where it's like I didn't care about Grayson.
Mm.
So it's hard for me. Like I see Maurice, he probably really did like him, but it's like they didn't really give me much to invest in
Yeah.
with this particular storyline. So it's like, okay, Maurice, you just get somebody else because I don't care about Grayson. And he threw me off with the whole wanting Maurice to quit his job after a month of just, and everybody view times differently with relationships, but it's like after a month of just probably dating you, I don't, I'm not quitting my job.
Right.
You can let me know how you feel about it, but to tell me like you weren't interested in someone who was doing that type of work, but that's how you met me.
Right.
Now you want like,
Yeah. Grayson, I feel like Grayson could have hit if Maurice wasn't so unserious all of the damn time. I feel like his stuff did not land, or you couldn't really buy into it because you didn't. I don't know if I ever really felt like Maurice was bought into that relationship.
me neither. And honestly, one of the things that just bothered me with Maurice when it comes to like relationships, I don't know when he's serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really don't. I don't know when he's serious because it seems like I think he liked Grayson, but I didn't get like I didn't get that they were on the same page.
And also, Maurice gives that he likes to be liked, which is synonymous with a lot of women. So I get that. It's definitely synonymous with our girls. Um, but yeah, like what you're saying, is it that you really like Grayson, or you just like being desired?
That's true. That is a great point.
And I get it. Like, that's something that's like to be explored within the show. I wish they would do a more pronounced job of that. I'm consuming a lot of like love shit right now, y'all. And it's like really radicalizing me. Like, I've just been hollering and screaming for like days now. Cause these men, woo! I just watched episode 11, I think, of Love is Blind. And y'all know I've already been like on Clay's ass, because Clay is literally the real life Zach. Like, I really 100% believe, if anybody watches Love is Blind, nobody's going to tell me, like, if you watch it and you seen Clay for these 10 episodes, you don't believe that Clay is probably exactly who Zach presented himself to be to Karen, except for the fact that Clay actually has a job beforehand. Everything else is literally the makers of Zach, and it just infuriates me. My blood boils, my ass itches, and it makes me so mad thinking about it, because it's real life. And then we watch Mia Coppola, and we got the damn Mama's Boys, and then we got the demon dick that's painting what he need to paint, and you know he not good for you. But Lord, just I want to reach out and touch. Okay, cool. And then you come into this
Mm.
series. So like the prevalent thing. Oh, and then also Risa Tisa. I don't know if y'all are on TikTok, but like following her 50-part series, and she freaking dated, married, and divorced a pathological liar in under 2 years, and the man lied about every goddamn thing and took her ass through the ringer. And all of it's rooted in our women's desire to be desired. So I get it. I get it. That's a very real thing, but it becomes our kryptonite in so many cases. And for me, I'm just seeing them pop up and how unique the cases become. But the root of it is we just want to be damn desired. So you put up with a lot. So you sacrifice. So you jump through hoops. Like looking at like the dude Clay on Love Is Blind. And I'm not gonna ruin it for y'all if y'all ain't seen episode 11, but like looking at episode this most recent episode 11, the girl that he's with is AD. My heart broke for her. I was crying for her because it's like she now is going to go through life. She just picked up this experience and now she feels like she's not enough behind some shit that you got with you. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. Nothing. So many of our experiences with men often, and I'm not negating that women don't come with our own shit. I'm not negating that at all. I had my own still probably do. Cool. But the way that we are handled in the world, it perplexes me and it infuriates me because we are socialized to deal with our stuff. We are socialized to carry trauma. And if we really want to heal so that bad, then we got to do the work. We got to find the resources. We got to find the support. We got to build a community. We got to do all of the things for ourselves and find a way to heal after hurt, after hurt, after hurt. But then you see these men who might have daddy issues or mommy issues, and they're never forced to heal. They just get to continue on and hurt. They get to continue on and do doofy stuff and then be like, but my daddy never loved me. Oh, but my daddy cheated on my mama. But da-da-da-da. And it's like, nigga, how many things have happened to me? So in looking at coming back to Sisters and seeing this, I just struggle so much, specifically right now, with just watching women's desires be exploited. I feel like I just went on a whole tangent. I'm sorry.
No, you said a lot, a lot. I mean, how you even tied it in with, Mel Copa and everything like that. Like, and Zaire to me was a prime example of the dude I would have sex with twice. And you go about your way because you're not going to mess up my life.
And see,
I couldn't do it because I wouldn't even,
see,
first of all,
the
I
fuck,
can't
and
even be in
the
a
part of me,
relationship.
Allie, like, I feel like I can see a lot more now because I had my Zach, and rest in peace to him. Thank you, but also fuck you. Like, it's a combination of all of that. And I don't resent him for all the stuff that I went through, but I'm able to see the world so much differently now and just identify a lot of shit, right? But even that, like, I made it to the end of Mea Culpa and I was like, well, can they make this shit work? Even though I know, like, no, the best decision is the decision that she made. I was also like, is you the one he gonna change for? No, you're never the one he's gonna change for. If he didn't change before he got to you, he's not changing with you.
My only thing with Mia and Zaire is that she didn't circle back. You got to do it twice.
No,
That
you
one
don't.
time wasn't enough. Yes, you. And that's probably where my toxicity comes in because I'm gonna do it twice. That's just that's just my rule. That's what's going to happen. And then you leave him alone because no, you don't want to be in a relationship with that dude. But he was too good. You got to make sure that wasn't just a little fluke. See, can he get the 10
No, because then
twice?
that's how I end up in there more than if it's
Oh
the second
no!
time,
Once I
Allie.
get once I get
That's
them two, no,
the
nope.
second time to
Once
turn
I
into
get them two
10.
in,
The second time to turn
I'm
into
good.
10. Now look at me, strung out.
Nope.
No, but
You
okay,
gotta go
like
back at least.
Zaire to me isn't the worst case. I feel like her husband is. Like, how did you even get into, like, y'all married young, so clearly you wanted to be in something. This ties to the whole Risa Tisa story. Like, she met this dude on a dating app during quarantine in 2020. 2 weeks after they done met, y'all moved in together because he done been a little bit shivers. He done bought a tire, he done bought dinner, and now he paying rent. But also, he ain't had a pot to piss in on a window to throw it out of, so he could give you a little $1,500 a month, girl. It's not even that really big of a deal. But because you're in the space of you want your happy ending, because you're in the space of you want to be desired, because you want somebody to call your own, you overlook all of the other things, and things don't stick out to you because you got most of it. I hate that for
Which
us.
now I will say, I have heard about the story, but I have not listened to it, and I'm not going to listen to it.
Why
But
not, Ellie?
it would, I guess, I can't. I can't. First of
I
all,
think
I'm
that
not.
you
I
would
got
like
kids.
it.
I can't. There's just certain things I am like. I don't watch reality TV.
Okay.
I the last reality TV show I watched was the Braxtons, and I probably stopped watching in season 3. Before that, I was watching Ben Bobby Brown and Real World,
Mm.
and I think I probably saw 2 seasons of the Real Housewives of Atlanta when it first came out. I don't know. I've never been big on like reality shows, so it's just certain things I would zone out. I would have no interest, and so I can't sit through 50 parts of her story. But I heard it was entertaining and all of that. But I think that
I thought I couldn't
a
either
lot of
until I
times,
was up all night, Allie.
girl, see, I can't do it.
With the phone right here.
I can't do it.
Hooked. Yeah?
I can't do it. No.
Hooked.
But I think that a lot of times for women, going back to your point, and even tying her story to Mia Culpa and even to sisters, is that the desire to be desired and the
Mm-hmm.
desire to be wanted, and how we will intentionally look over red flags and all the warning signs, the do not enter, the wrong way, you know what I'm saying? All those things that will be right in front of our faces, but because I want this man to want me and I'm willing to overlook these things to be wanted. And I think about even Karen when she first got with Zach. There are two different, stories floating out there, but I'm gonna use the last ones that was presented to us is when she met him on the bus. He had just got out of prison. He said something nice to you, y'all went out to eat, and now he's y'all moving in together.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many things that came out that, and so for those who don't watch Zatima, there are things we found out on Zatima when it came to Karen and Zach's family,
Yep.
that not only was she taking care of Zach, she was taking care of his mom and his brother financially. But that doesn't get talked about on Sisters when people say, oh, she only want him for his money. Zach didn't have nothing when her and Zach got together. However, because
Mm-hmm.
she wanted him and because I'm sure he dicked her down well, I'm willing to overlook, baby, I got you. I'll pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
When you get your job, get you straight. I got me.
The same thing that
Hell
Fatima
no.
is doing now. While y'all are
Yes.
all rooting and cheerleading this damn relationship on, Fatima is in that space right now. She refuses to leave Zach because she loves the idea of just being desired and he's good enough. I can't even say he's a good man, y'all. I'm not going to do it. And it's not
Mm,
me hating on Zach. He's good enough. And
he's
so
good
often
enough.
we are socialized that good enough is more than what we should be asking for. The devil is a lie. My
That's
ass is
true.
going to the grave solo before I don't get what the hell I deserve. And I'm fine with that. I made my peace with that. Because I can't.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I want to be desired just
Please.
like the next girl. But I want to be desired by a man that is equally yoked with me, that fully sees me, that is not just settling, that's not just checking off a box, that's not lying and making up a whole personality just because he likes the idea of courting me in this particular seasons of his life. Like, I want a full on human partner, a full partner. Do not come to me talking about, oh, you can make me so much better. If you're not coming already in a certain package, don't bring your ass, sir. Because what was the plan before I arrived in your life? What was the plan before you saw me? Like, and this comes up in watching all the stuff that I'm watching, specifically Love is Blind, because this man Clay repeats on ad nauseum. Oh, you make me better. Oh, you help me this way. Oh, and For me, it's like it's almost like an outer body experience in hearing it, because in my 20s, that shit was music to my ears. That shit actually made me feel like I was doing something. Y'all feel me? Y'all hear where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
Like, hearing a man tell me like, "Oh my god, you make me so much better. You make me want to be better." Used to be that go ahead and put in the, just shoot it in my veins. Now I hear that shit and it immediately sounds like a red flag, because who are you outside of me? Who were you before me? You had no desire to be better. You had no desire to rise to the highest level of your potential. You had no desire or no understanding or no need to know what you could do at your most optimum self until you met me. Bullshit. Let's call bullshit. Because guess what? Erica is trying to be her best self, her best version, before I run into somebody's son with some sense.
Mm-hmm.
And you want me to be okay with you just now deciding because you seen me and you realize that you got to level up, that now it's okay for you to level up? Go find another hoe, because I ain't the one. Mm-mm. Y'all
And I
feel
think
that?
that's a great point, Erica. Yeah, and I think that's so great what you saying, because as I'm listening to you, it made me think about Fatima in the beginning of her and Zach's situation, because and this is a red flag for me. When I meet a man who constantly tells me how bad their ex was,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't do nothing, it was all her, that is an indicator to me that it was you.
Mm-hmm.
It was you. When Zach was telling Fatima, my ex, all she did was put me down. She never told me I could be great at anything. She never made me believe in myself. But when I met you, all that changed. You made me want to be better. You made me. That
Can we
made
pause
Fatima
there
feel
real
good
quick,
as a.
Allie? Because I'm so glad that you brought that impersonation to the chat. I understand the need for external validation. But if that is
Yeah.
your fucking bread and butter, bro, we're already dead in the water. It should not matter. It cannot matter what who you with said in reference to you going after and actually actualizing your potential. I am supposed to be a obstetrician right now. Have a whole master's degree in biology, has worked at an organ procurement, like have done all of the things that was supposed to send my ass off to medical school, line me up to go and get my degree, my doctorate degree, and be practicing. For all intents and purposes, throughout my entire life, my family has known that is what Erica's going to be. In the last 10 to 12 years of my life, I did a fucking pivot, changed the plan that nobody understood. And I spent quite a few years hiding a new dream, hiding the pivot, placating to X, Y, and Z, and listening to people talk about me. If you're waiting for somebody else to validate your dreams, to validate who you are, to validate all that you can become, then baby, you're going to be waiting the rest of your life. And it sounds idealistic or cool when you kind of say it, but then when you really think about it, it sounds gross. My ex never validated me. What did you say to yourself? She never told me I could be anything. Did you ever tell yourself you could be anything? Miss me with it. And I struggle with men who have that as a sob story, because I have my story. I have the story of people telling me I was stupid as hell. You're never going to be on TV. You're never going to do this. You're never like, I'm never going to do so many things. I can even go back to before I even graduated. Before I even left high school, I had a person very close to me tell me that I was going to be a teen mother because I come from the hood. So like, let's be for real. Go ahead, Ellie. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's yeah. That is something, when, as you stated, external validation is good, but that cannot be something that your entire existence is based upon.
It can't.
Facts. Like you just can't. And going back to that, when it becomes such a driving force, for you to have that, or for you to feel like you're doing something that the previous person couldn't do. You get like a little chip on your shoulder. And that's how I feel about Fatima, in the sense of, and I talked about this when I did the video about Fatima. And when she was telling Andy, what Zach said, and nobody ever did this and nobody ever did that, and Andy was looking at Fatima like, what the hell are you talking about? Because she knew that's a lie, because my friend did everything you say you doing. Then Zach told Miss Lisa, well, I wanted to be a barber, but Karen didn't want me working in her shop. What the hell they got to do with you going to barber school? I just had a debate with somebody about that this week, about how Karen really never did nothing. I'm like, y'all gotta stop. And that's why I be trying to be nice to y'all when some of these conversations. I'm like, but y'all gotta stop. But y'all gotta stop speaking that dumb shit.
Mm-mm.
That don't even make sense. So Karen is the person as to why he didn't get nothing done. Like, come on now.
But did Zach
Let's
have a
truly be for
did Zach
real.
have a shop for Karen to go set up her goddamn hot comb? No, she didn't, and she still did it. Did
Okay.
Karen did Zach have a home for Karen to plant her goddamn flag in and pay no rent and go along and get along? No, no, he didn't, but she still got it done. That's the thing that like really I struggle with, because it's like I understand that some of these men have very real struggles, but so the hell do we. And
Yes.
we're supposed to carry our struggles and yours and smile while doing it. Y'all got me fucked up.
All the way.
Y'all
And
got
when
me
I
all the
say
way
all the
fucked up.
way, I mean all the way. Because I can't tell you the number of people, well, Zach mom wasn't there for him, and Zach did. I said, well, Karen's father wasn't there for her. Danny's father wasn't there for her. She don't remember the last time her dad did anything. So why is it that we supposed to have so much grace extended to Zach when we have four women who all come from a troubled household? So what may have you. Why don't they get that grace extended to them? So I don't. But that is society. That is culture. But I'm like, nah, we ain't doing that over here.
That part. That
What
part.
else we talked about? We talked about uh
Child,
we
Penelope
talked about
ass is
Penelope.
dumb, and I can't. I can't. I
Girl,
don't even know if
girl,
I
I
can
can't.
give her any energy. I don't want to pay her no words, and I want to pay her dust. I think it's unfortunate for a pregnant woman to be attacked in the way that she was, and hurt and all that. But like, not that she was asking for it, because she wasn't. But also, you were antagonizing a psychopath. What the did you think was going to happen?
Okay.
You going in here to ask questions that you don't need to know the answers to. What are we doing? And why are we doing it? And then why are we doing it with such arrogance? You ain't coming there strapped. You ain't coming there with some type of panic button. You ain't got a life alert. Girl, go to hell. Penelope pissed me off because she's one of the new characters that actually got me on board and rooting for her, and then this is what she turns out to do. It's like, girl, you're wasting my energy, and I got people I can focus on. Karen's carrying two kids, okay, and got a whole bunch of snakes around her. I need to be giving all my energy to her ass, not you. Especially if this is what you're gonna do.
Girl, but I'm watching that scene. I said, Penelope, where is all this boldness coming from, sis? Where
About
did
a
you
hoe that
get
you
this?
don't know. Rest in peace, Keisha, Cash, whatever her name is. Rest in peace, honey. But you don't even know her. You avenging a damn dead girl from 1993 and you 10 months pregnant, girl? She behaving more stupidly than Zach is putting his hands on his gun. Like,
Oh, mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't have it for
Yeah.
Penelope. What was you saying about Penelope though?
No, I was just saying I was talking about everything that we touched on, and that was just one of the things that we touched on. Because I don't even know. Penelope wanted to go. She wanted to go up yonder.
She had to.
Cause ain't no way.
And
Ain't no
Lord
way.
help Andrea Bonds if this was part of Andrea Bonds' plan. Because I already told you not to listen to Andrea. Andrea will get you killed.
Andrea done did something.
Christy says, I think
Cause the way
Penelope
he
was
threw
feeling
his
froggy because Zach took them bullets. So she figured Gary ain't gonna touch me. He took them bullets. She lucky that all he did was push her. He could have pistol whipped her ass. Like, I don't know why she's here. There's so many ways that that could have gone wrong. I don't know why she's there. He, Keisha said they had Penelope go out like a sucker. I don't like that. Penelope is giving sucker, friend. She kind of is giving sucker. Did you clock that that baby was never going to make it, Allie?
yeah. But I just wanted it to play out. I didn't want to be like the people, who we get that
Uh,
message us about caring children.
yeah.
So I didn't want to, say anything. But I did make reference to, I was saying it without saying it. I would say Gary don't give two damns about that baby. He don't care about the ones he got walking, roaming the earth now. Gary will
Mm-hmm.
chop Penelope up and put her in his desk. He doesn't care. So that was my way of kind of saying Gary will take her out as well as that damn child. But I didn't want to go that far.
I didn't think about that until it happened, and I was like, "Oh, this is happening." Clean up on aisle
Yeah,
3 because it's a lot of blood, child, that came out of nowhere.
girl, it was a lot. It was a lot. I just and somebody mentioned, I don't remember who in the chat. They was like, they feel that Penelope felt because she was pregnant with Gary's child that he wouldn't do anything, that he wouldn't touch her.
Mm,
And even though I can see that, I just think that I'm like, but you know enough about this man to know that he is violent.
yeah,
He's talked to you crazy. He's talked to you like you were nothing. And I just feel like if a man, don't get me wrong, we all can get upset and get in our feelings, but there's a certain verbiage and tone. I feel if a man do that, he'll put his hands on you too.
mm-hmm,
And
yep,
Gary gives abusive. He gives abusive. So,
yeah. He always gave. He didn't give a damn about that bump.
at all.
I don't know why I didn't go there because I guess I don't naturally go to that place, but like I didn't think that that would actually be the case. But I was like, okay, well, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't think it
Gary
was
is
gonna
Legion from Risa Tisa's story, but worse. So much worse because he actually
happen.
has money and a little bit of resources, so he's been able to do a lot more elaborate things. Child. Mm, I can't even
I'm not gonna
recall
play with
everything that's
y'all
up.
in this chat.
I know the chat is so live tonight. I love it. Okay. Penelope, Gary. The way the episode opened with Andy and when did Sabrina start calling Andy? I mean, I guess it makes sense because Andy paid for part of the damn freezing of the egg. So I guess, but that felt a little bit like, this is kind of weird. And then her and Jordan, for them to have that damn newscast of like the councilman has been laying his head over here, and it's like, who gives a fuck?
Girl, I, j- I I was glad she came on the news when she did, because ain't nobody trying to see Jordan and Andy attempt to get it in. So I was glad that messed up their mood. But I said this in my trailer breakdown. It was like no one cares. Like literally, no one cares where Jordan lives. And then the fact that the thing with that girl was not true, he's innocent, so on and so forth. It's just like I just felt that was just like a ball drop. He got this big old secret, and okay.
Yeah.
It just felt, I don't know. It was just weird to me. There was a couple weird moments tonight that was weird to me. We talked about Karen almost macing Trey.
I recorded a
Like,
video that I didn't put out, and I'm like, I'm kind of glad that I could probably still put it out. And it's about Trey and Karen. They just
it's
provided
not
comedic
giving no
relief for
more.
me. I never
That's
saw
all
it for
that
them.
was. Because at first, I'm like, girl,
But he
I
loves
was
her.
here for it in the beginning. I was here for it in the beginning because I was like, she pregnant and pregnant with me, get horny or whatever. At least she might have somebody, who can look, who can, scratch that itch for. But no,
But Karen seems a lot like me, and I seem a lot like her in so many ways. And one of those is like, I don't see her like giving her body to somebody she doesn't really know like that, especially at this given point in time. Especially like in this season after she's come through what she's come through. I don't know. So yeah, I just never saw it for little tenderoni Trey. Um,
yeah, I, I probably would be the person to be like, you know what, bump it. Let's just, we grown. Let's just do. But you know what though? Let me take that back. I used to be like that. I ain't gonna front.
hmm.
But after working in the medical field for 8 years, baby, we got to get tested.
Yeah, it's just so much that goes into it.
We have to go get tested, and
I would just
but
rather
and then
not.
again, and then again, as you grow and mature, and then you understand, like, the spiritual implications of sleeping, having sex with somebody. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Sharing your body with someone. Is deeper than just a physical act. So
Yeah.
those things are deep. And let me just say, because I don't want nobody thinking Alicia just wild out here, because I'm not. Um, so let me make that very clear. But you do have those. I do have those moments. I just want to say, like, damn it, just let's get it in. However, I've already been that person,
Mm.
and it took a long time. It took a long time to um start living my life a different way,
Mm.
where I am, what I'm saying, mindful of who I, share myself with on a spiritual level, emotional level, because I do, and it is a bad, let me say, I'm not going to say bad, it is an unhealthy trait that I had because I felt like a dude. I could have sex with somebody and literally means nothing, and I will probably never even want to talk to them again.
Mm.
It was very easy for me. So, going through a season of, promiscuity, especially like in my college years, like right after college life, it was very easy. And then,
Yeah.
something happened where I had to like check myself and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. It was
Mm.
enough to capture my attention and say, hey, you doing a little too much, sis.
Yeah.
You doing entirely
I,
too damn
I
much.
I wanted to
And
have a promiscuity season, but I just was never capable of it. My
yeah, I was
emotional, feely ass. I catch feelings, so yeah.
and see I don't. And that's
I
the
either
bad
catch
that's
feelings
the
or like
biggest
I am
part.
completely like. There's really no in between for me. Like you either don't exist or I'm like obsessed.
Oh, and see, mine is not like that. Mine is, I have, like, there's somebody who has been actively pursuing me for a couple months now. I
Mm-hmm.
talk to him on a regular basis. Um, Nice guy, all of that good stuff, but ain't nothing there for me. It's just like he's like cool,
Mm-hmm.
but I know he likes me. I know I'm somebody he would want to like have a future with. But I've been very honest, and I told him I'm not where you are, and I don't know if I ever will be.
Hmm.
And then there's some people, like my ex boyfriend, I met and instantly there was a connection, a deep
Yeah.
connection. And but when I was out there doing my thing, girl, I was like, I'm talking about it was crazy. I've done some dumb stuff. I'm gonna put it that way. I've done
We
some
all
dumb
have
dumb
friends.
stuff,
I've done some dumb
but I
stuff
am
with a
oh,
damn
I've
the
done
nigga
a
I thought
lot.
I'm gonna be with forever. So we all have done dumb
Mm-mm.
stuff, whether it's with
I did dumb stuff with people who I didn't care if I dealt with them again.
mm,
Like I had a 2 year span of when I say living it up, 2 years straight stupidity. Thank God his hand was over my life
Come on.
because things could have been different. I'll put it that way. But yeah, but when I look at who was we talking about? Um I don't even remember who we was even mentioning.
We were talking about Trey.
Um oh yeah, Trey, like that's what it was. Because Trey would be somebody who I would just like my curiosity would get the best of me. But I am glad that Karen is kinda like paying him dust in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's attracted to him, but ain't like, she trying to go there with him
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact that she hasn't mentioned anything, but there's almost like a an unstated boundary
Mm-hmm.
that's already up.
Yep.
So yeah, but that scene was very interesting though. Just to so it but it makes he's gonna come back and put up a camera.
Yeah. Purple Love, I have pretty much lived my whole life believing that I was a Cancer until I got my birth chart read recently. And based on the time, because I was born on June 21st, which is a very questionable day, and halfway through the day, the sign switches. I am
Hmm.
technically a Gemini. However, I still feel like I have so many Cancer traits, and I have believed myself to be a Cancer this entire, like my whole life. So you're not wrong for picking up on like me describing either obsession or complete and utter indifference as like a Cancer thing. Um, Technically now I'm a Gemini, and I have to make peace with that. Whatever.
Yeah, I would definitely tag you as a Cancer. But I mean, I
Yeah.
knew your birthday was, but Gemini, I don't see it.
Now that I'm learning more about Geminis, I see it, but like I had like the a very shallow view. I only have one friend who's a Gemini, a close friend that's a Gemini, and I love her down. But I had this really like surface level view of Geminis, like, oh, Geminis are two faced, and it's like, no, actually, they're not. So I always had this resistance to them, even though I do have a really great friend who I've never really even had an argument or any kind of issue with, and she's wonderful. Um, and she's a Gemini. I'm learning a lot more now about Geminis, and I'm like, okay, I can see a lot of the traits there. But because I'm like right there on this like cusp, like I think my birth time is like 2 hours off from when it changes. I don't know how much that like impacts. Because again, I've grown up believing that I was a Cancer this whole entire time, and I just knew like yes, oh this makes sense. I do this shit because I'm a Cancer. And like
Do you
actually,
feel that? Do you feel that that the Cancer traits are more of your dominant traits?
not really. When I really think about it, I feel like I've gone through seasons, and I'm like now starting to learn about like unevolved versions of the sign versus evolved versions. And I feel like there are seasons in my life where it was a lot more dominant. Now I think the things that about Cancers that like I still resonate with are more just like layers in me, not necessarily the thing that's like on top. Like I'm very emotional. Um, I feel things very strongly, but also so do Geminis. And I really do like enjoy and feel the best around water. But those aren't like, I don't know, those aren't the most compelling things, I guess, about my personality right now in this particular season of my life.
Gotcha. Gotcha. What
Purple
else we
Love says I'm
haven't
a
talked
different type of Gemini. What does that mean?
about?
um, and Allie's a
This is
Virgo, y'all.
probably so.
Right? Allie,
Yeah,
you're a
I'm a
Virgo.
Virgo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Virgo.
Um,
Yeah, and this is probably like so shallow, but the scene where Sabrina was touching her phone and then touching that food, I was utterly disgusted.
oh, the
I
girls?
mean, I'm I'm a germaphobe to a certain extent. When
Uh,
she was getting stuff ready, when she was talking to Maurice on the phone, and I was looking at her hands touching that food. Girl, when I said, God, I have a problem. When I was squirming, watching that scene. I said, I can't, because she touched that phone twice and then went back and touched that. I said, oh my God,
I don't
mm-mm.
know. I feel like I kind of been checked out of Sabrina ever since last week. So I was half paying attention.
Yeah, it wasn't much. It wasn't really much in that scene. That thing just got me.
But even like
It
even
just
the
got
the girls moment, like I don't think I really like I really do have to rewatch this episode because I wasn't paying attention. I was particularly only paying attention to Sabrina when she was interacting directly with Karen because I wanted to feel like if the energy was different, and I noticed that the energy was different. Other than that, like I can't tell you about much of anything that they had going on. I know that there was a charcuterie board and it wasn't enough and they needed some wings. And then I know that Sabrina gave Karen a bunch of dirty looks. That's it.
yeah.
And I'm sure probably more
She
things
did
happen
get
in
her.
the scene. I don't know. I like
It
the
wasn't
idea of
much.
Sabrina.
It wasn't much.
I know she spoke to like, oh, I stood up to Miss India, but honestly, like I don't even remember what she said to Miss India because everything that she said felt a little bit passive still. So I was just like, girl, you didn't really say much, but maybe I just tuned you out because again, I'm starting to check off of the Sabrina boat after last week. I'm like half listening to her ass. Did she really like come from Miss India?
I think that she was. I think she did say, let's stop the BS. Basically, she's not asking for anything extra other than what she rightfully deserves. Um, like she didn't do anything, and in that situation, she didn't because somebody was complaining about, their hesitancy, to be
Mm-hmm.
led by her, like as a manager. And, she was innocent. She was like, I took the brunt of the shame. I did all of that. Um, and I deserve what I was rightfully mine. Um, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, she didn't really go off on her, in my opinion. And I
Yeah.
think that India was, I don't think she was taken aback. I think she liked the fact that Sabrina asserted herself.
Mm.
So the fact that Sabrina thought she lost her, that she got fired, I was like, I didn't get that energy.
Yeah, and then also the way that we're talking about this in reference to the narrative period, it's like, oh, you're gonna get this promotion. It's like, no, she needs to be getting her job back. Like, why aren't we talking about it like she's getting her job back? Did y'all miss that when y'all were binging
Right.
it to take over the show? Sabrina was actually the branch manager before, unless I'm wrong. Was she not the branch manager before the robbery?
She was.
And everybody's talking about it. I don't know. I think I'm really starting to check out from Sabrina. Rich is not giving, even though I love Monty so much. Like I really enjoy looking at Monty, but he ain't. Rich ain't not Monty. Um, am I about to check out of the damn show? At this point, Ellie, let's go ahead and just say the thing, Erica. Where the hell is Aaron at? Because y'all keep giving me all of these things that it's not Aaron Harper Carter. Ain't that his middle name, Harper?
Aaron. Aaron. Yes.
Where the hell is Aaron
Oh, yes.
at? Because at this point, I don't care. I don't care about Sabrina fake getting bucked with Miss India. Give her damn job back or don't. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about Danny trying to pretend that she's something that she's not to keep a man that she don't even want. She just likes the dick. Be his friend with benefits and get the hell on. Andrea, if you want to ride off into the sunset with this man that you have great sexual chemistry with and nothing else, then go ahead. By golly, Miss Molly, go ahead and do it and get off my nerves. Karen, sit your ass down so we can get these kids out of you healthy and happy and bring back Aaron Carter. Free Fatima, but also bring back Aaron Carter. That's it. I don't think that's too much to ask.
It's not.
I don't like that we got that little screenshot 3 episodes ago at this point. So now y'all just teasing us, only for him to like, and the screenshot and then a car call, and only for him to disappear again, and we just left in the minutia of whatever the hell this is that we're currently in.
I They need to bring Aaron back. I didn't like that. Um, I don't know. I just think I know some people don't like him, but to me he just brings a different energy to the show because when we look at it, there's not many men on the show, and I'm not saying that Aaron has done everything right because he has not, but I think as far as being upstanding, respectful, and dedicated to a woman, he gives that.
And when it comes down to it, piggybacking off of what we talked about midway through this live, right? Like once I got past the like he's too good to be true, because that's a very real trauma response when you're actually presented with a unicorn and you have been dealing with goofy ass wild ass horses this entire time. Once I got past that, I think that's the key, and the best thing about Aaron is he's literally the antithesis of everything else that these women have been experiencing. That's why I'm going to continue to ride so hard for Aaron Carter, because he already came to Karen wanting to be the best version of himself. Karen didn't make him do that. That is how he was able to ride with her. That's how he was able to respect her. That's why how he was able to have empathy, because he's a man with a fucking vision already. Like he came to the table with something. He did not need the female component to now be inserted for him to be complete. He was already complete before he met Karen's ass. Even though he was hurt, even though he was broken, even though he's going through a damn divorce, he was still a whole ass individual first, not needing to take anything from Karen to be the best version of himself. Bring back that man and make more of him. Please.
I agree with that. Bring Aaron back.
I think that Tony might
Yep.
be the closest version of like another Aaron, but he's still not it, because I can't imagine a man that truly values himself and truly like has all that I feel like Aaron has pacifying a Daniela. That just don't compute for me. Hold on, y'all, my computer's about to try to die on me.
Yeah, and tonight really made me just take a step back and really look at Tony because I'm like, you're acting as if you're oblivious to certain things, and I don't like that.
Right.
Especially because you are a father and you can't tell that your children do not like Danny, and you can't tell that Danny has an issue with your children. That's a problem for me
Be right back.
because your number one priority is to protect your children, put them first. So I'm trying to, this not making sense. So no, no. Or I would have even appreciated it if there was a scene with just Tony and his kids, and he asked them how they felt about Danny and let them express their truth without her. But I agree with you. Tony is the best thing we got on the show as far as men. That's for sure.
And unfortunately, he just happened to get matched with our resident demon ass sister. Yes, I'm still on Daniela's ass, y'all.
Ain't no coming off on that. Now, question, because I want to make sure I heard this correctly. Did Danny tell the sisters that Carisha said she saw a change in her or a difference in her?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch it again myself because I was like, girl, you just played in a lady's face by giving her movie themes. You you ain't going through nothing in therapy. You playing in that woman's face.
and wasting your copay. All I
I just
remember
had to
her
make
saying is
sure.
that Tony got to pay Carisha for her next appointment. That's all I remember her saying about Carisha.
Girl, what? I missed that.
Yeah, when Rich took the kids to go look at desserts or whatever, she was like, I'm trying or whatever the fuck she was saying. And it came down to like, you're gonna pay for my next appointment. Um because these like, she just basically made it seem like these kids are just so much that he gotta pay. And I was like, Tony, do you not love yourself, sir? Because what the fuck is this? That's all I remember. I remember Carisha came up at that particular moment. I don't know. Did she say that to the sisters or did she say that to Tony?
She said that to the girls.
Oh yeah, I
I
really
want
checked
to.
out of
I
that
want
whole
to say she
goddamn
said that to the
conversation.
girls.
I was there for one reason and one reason only, to figure out who was being Karen's op in this night. Oh
Oh,
my
speaking of
goodness.
Karen, I am so glad. I am so glad that when the nurse called her over the phone, she made sure to tell Karen that her babies were okay.
Yes. Yes. I think it's just gonna be about the
Because
paternity.
the foolishness that I've gotten this week about, let me just PSA. I understand there have been a plethora of people who have popped up on the sisters um YouTube streets as far as reviewing this show. More
Mm-hmm.
power to them. Everybody has a voice. But I'm gonna start blocking people who come on my channel, come in my house, and speak certain things that I just can't rock with. You're more than welcome to share your opinion, but when you start getting into like these reviewers who be speaking death on kids, I can't rock with that
Oh
type of
yeah.
energy. I
Child.
can't rock with that. We getting blocked. We getting blocked. 'Cause that's just
Period.
no. Keep
Comments
that
is
over
getting
there
deleted. You getting blocked.
to keep that over here. Keep it over there on his channel and say whatever you got to say over there. But no, I don't even like that type of energy.
At all. Sweet Cakes 5 says, Aaron is not perfect. Shaking my head. Nobody is perfect. I'm not saying that
He's
he's
not
perfect
perfect.
at all, honey. I think that's so interesting. And like, thank you for posting this comment because it's giving me a jumping off point, honestly. Because this is something else that I was thinking about earlier. Because y'all, I'm a reflective motherfucker. Like, I just be in my head having conversations, trying to unpack stuff and figure out the whole thing, figure out this world. I am personally, intentionally choosing to divest and like remove I'm not perfect from my vocabulary because to me that's a given. And people who use that and wield that, I feel like it just becomes a dismissive or manipulation tactic within conversations. And this isn't specifically to you, Sweet Cakes 5, but going back to Love is Blind, right? The dude Clay, he would say all the time, like, I'm not perfect. I'm like working on myself. Nobody is asking you to be perfect. More often than not, people are not asking of others to be perfect when they're asking for the bare minimum or when they're asking for what they're worth. Aaron is not perfect. You are correct. I don't think I said that. I don't think that Allie said that. And I think that it's interesting that that comes up when I speak highly about this particular man. But we can't speak to the specific points that I feel like are highlights about his character that I specifically outline as like, yo, this is what makes me gravitate towards him. None of which is like he's perfect. And this is no shade to you, Sweet Cakes 5, but I think that's something that we need to think about when we're in dialogue with other people because it can feel a little bit invalidating when people go to that immediately. Well, this person isn't perfect. To positively describe somebody or characterize somebody isn't necessarily to equate them to perfection. It's just, for me specifically, it is to describe them as I see them. And for me, Aaron is a very solid man, a man with flaws, very real flaws, but something that you could work with, a man that you can work with, especially if you're a woman desiring a very healthy relationship from an emotionally and mentally stable man who is prepared with some type of vision or plan to move forward. Aaron already comes with a map of what he wants his life to look like. So it makes it that much easier for a woman, whether it's Karen or someone like myself or like Allie, who also has visions, to be able to line up these maps and figure out like, oh, are we going in the same direction? And I don't know about you, but for me personally in real life, that is where I'm at. I am not dating somebody if you don't come with a specific vision so I can at least get a gist of if we're even headed in the right direction. I am uninterested in dating a man who I know is going left and I'm trying to go right. I'm uninterested in dating a man who's going backwards and I'm trying to go forward. It's redundant, it's ridiculous, and it's a waste of my time and energy. So to go back to my characterizations of Aaron Harper Carter, is he one of the elite men of this show? Yes. Is he the best man on this show? Yes. Is he perfect? No. But him not being perfect does not make him top tier. Hell, top two and not number two for me. And for some of y'all, it might be that he's creepy. I think because I saw that comment come up as well. Good night, Perspective Plans. Thanks for joining us, love. I
Night.
seen that come up too of like, oh, Aaron is creepy or Aaron is weird. I think for people, but I'm gonna speak specifically for women who have been through a certain level of trauma or experiences with men, specifically black men, I think it's easy to characterize some man who comes with a different energy, with full intention, with clear communication, with emotional stability, mental stability, as weird, as creepy, as not right, as not normal, because we have normalized trauma, we have normalized pain, we have normalized suffering. And if you don't come with that, then of course you're going to be weird. In a lot of cases, specifically when people are talking about Aaron, and I feel like I can say this because I was there too. Like Vaughn did a lot of conversation with me early on and really helped me like release my resistance to Aaron because I feel like I had entered that like that space or I had like approached him like nah, he's too good to be true. And like just think about that for a second. He's too good to be true because he's good and not just good enough. Baby, that's a problem for you, Erica. That's not a problem that's on him. So I just want y'all to take all that into consideration when y'all get into a space of like, Aaron or Erica and Allie said something good about Aaron. Let's remind her that he's creepy. Let's remind her that he's weird. Let's remind her that he not perfect. I don't know what you think, Allie.
Yeah. Well, it's always been Aaron for me. Even after the, and this is what did it for me. Um, After him and Karen had their blow up in the grocery store, I thought he was disrespectful with the things that he stated.
Oh,
The
girl.
one thing that
He got off to the wrong start for me. That was
he
also, that
did,
didn't help. That did not help. Because when I tell you, and I also be writing people off, and I don't ever want to be like writing them back on. Like, I want to write your ass off and I pay you dust the rest of your life. That's why I date white women. That you know what, I put a lot more on myself than I did on Aaron because that was on his ass, honestly. Go ahead.
yeah. But I think the one thing that I am big on is an apology,
Mm,
and not just a verbal apology when your actions back up what you say you're
yeah.
apologizing for.
Yep.
And I think that was the one thing I liked about Aaron. He apologized and then look, this is not to make an excuse. This is what I'm going through with my wife. I'm in my feelings. I took it out on you. You ain't got nothing to do with it, and I'm sorry. And then they, had the conversation. They got in the car and was eating ice cream. And I think that for me, Aaron has always, and I thought this was like a thing that Tyler was gonna do, like present him to be this one person, and then now we got this woman calling him Aaron John, or we have this woman that he was spending time with in addition to Karen, which he could have because he wasn't committed to Karen. He could have dated anybody that he wanted to. Yet I feel like she was the person that he wanted, but she wasn't ready to give him what he wanted from her.
Mm-hmm.
And I just always, for me, I just like that about Aaron because I think it's very rare that we see men. just being good to a black woman and not wanting anything in return,
Mm-hmm.
not wanting sex, not wanting like, and don't get me wrong, there were times I'm like, Aaron, he said leave her alone, like, dude, just fall back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just fall back. But I did love I love that energy because we don't see that at all. Like a man is doing something
Yeah.
because he has ulterior motives or he's trying to get some ass,
Yep.
and that just wasn't the case for him. And I think that even with Zach, we do know Zach, and the fact that we know Zach and people still root for Fatima to stay with Zach. Zach is a liar.
But that's
Just
because
even
that
tonight's
Zach is who
episode.
we are used to. Zach, like, he is literally the personification of good enough. And Sweet Cakes 5, like, babe, I'm not coming for you at all. You didn't have to take back your comment, honey. I love this dialogue. And honestly, if you really do have problems with Aaron, you are 100% your right to have problems with Aaron. I just don't want my reverence for the character to trigger anybody. And it's coming from like a very real place. Like, I I want people to like audit their comfortability with Zach and like really register what that means. Like, you being okay with Zachary Taylor behaving as Zachary Taylor behaves is indicative of like what you have been socialized to accept. And it's not okay. It might not be your fault, but it's also not okay. And it's not enough. And it's okay for people to point that out and to say that. Um, Aaron feels so damn foreign because we are used to Zags. That is how y'all supposed to show up. And people, we gravitate towards what is most comfortable, what is familiar. And it's okay to push yourself outside your comfort zone. And it's okay to um kind of like dive into the unfamiliar.
Yeah.
Once I
And
finally got
and
over his
I think
initial thing, once I finally got over
oh
Aaron's initial disrespect and like believed his apology and started to like see how he navigated, it was really healing to watch Aaron, because being a Karen, being a woman who like stayed with got cheated on, got all of like a bunch of the things that Karen experienced, and like to even know that my circle at times were like, well, you love him, you can't leave him, you can't, like, push me to stay in this very toxic thing. And it's like, they not necessarily, I'm not gonna say everybody had malicious intent or anything, but like this is something I was definitely socialized for. And to know, or to even just see that it could possibly be the other way around, like I am just as worthy, or black women are just as worthy as some man deciding that the love is just more important, and they're going to deal with, me being in a weird place, me making toxic decisions, me having unhealthy habits or whatever. Like, I don't know. I think Aaron is just such a powerful character because of that.
yeah, I think he is, and I think also Tyler was very intentional to me to try to turn him. Like you just can't be this. We got to do something to jack you up. So we gonna bring this woman, and also even his connection with Gary. I think that Tiffany Banks brought up a great point.
That's such a great
With there,
point. Let's read that out real quick. Tiffany Banks
there's so
says,
many questions.
yeah, is your too good to be true true? Too many unanswered questions. Why was your phone blank? Who is John? Why don't you show when you're upset? You counsel Gary. How many fiancés have you met? All of that is very valid.
All that is very valid, and I think that, and I know for me, when I think about Aaron's relationship to Gary, I
Mm-hmm.
don't believe they're friends. They're
Yeah.
not friends. So I feel like Gary knew he needed help. He went to this wherever church or whatever the thing is, and Aaron began to counsel him. Now, mind you, the only woman that Aaron knew about was Andy. He was aware of a Andy, but he didn't know Andy was Karen's Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Gary crashed his car I try to be a good man. I'm trying to do basically Gary was playing everybody in his life, even down to Aaron.
Aaron. Yeah.
He was literally playing everyone in his life. Now, of course, yes, I've been calling him Aaron John because I'm like, who is John? That was, and sometimes, and it's sad because I have to realize what is the storytelling and what is
Mhm.
just poor writing from Tyler, and we have to do that too much
Yeah.
because I'm like with Aaron, what part of it is just bad writing from Tyler, and he created this thing and just didn't finish it,
And
which is
ooh,
absolutely
car is cat
mind
like
blowing.
I'm gonna go ahead and pat my motherfucking self on the back because even with that and like it could be poor writing, I feel like I know a way that he could have wrote himself out of that hole. And this is not, I don't want y'all to take this like I'm trying to come up with every excuse in the book for Aaron. Cause I'm not, I promise you. But like the whole Aaron John thing is like if you have given yourself to this woman and you are like climbing this mountain with her and you're just met with like boulder after boulder, like it's almost like she's at the top trying to knock your ass back down and you're still persevering. um and for all intents and purposes, you're a healthy man. You are in touch with your feelings, but you have certain desires as well that are not necessarily being met. But you also respect the fact that she cannot meet certain things for you. I don't, I don't see a problem with like him exploring something else. And it's unfortunate for whatever woman that becomes entangled in whatever he created outside of that. But I think that there's a very real thing there of like you started something else with somebody else because you want us to still feel desire or you want to know what it feels like with a little bit more reciprocity or when something is a little bit easier and you gave a different name because this is a life that you just wanted to visit but you know it's not your real life because you are in for all intents and purposes or at least your heart is committed over here. And again, I'm not trying to make an excuse, but I think that's a very real story to tell because I think that people dissociate all the time and people create stories and create lives within their lives to escape certain things. And that could have been applied to his story. And I think Tyler could have wrote him out of that if that became the explanation. I don't know what you think.
Um, yeah, because that was just too much of a what the hell did she what did she do for it to be
Yeah.
dropped.
Yeah.
Like it was too big of a thing. Like there has to be an explanation given for that, especially when he comes off as such an upstanding individual. Like you have to. I don't know. That just has to be something. I just you can't drop the ball on that one. And that like
And
this
I
woman
don't
that
even
caused.
know if her calling him John makes him a non upstanding individual anymore.
I still think he's upstanding. Like my opinion about Aaron has never changed, regardless of the
Yeah.
things that may seem like okay, well what's this about? And don't get me wrong, like even the baggage that came along with him. But one of the things I do like that Tyler wrote with this whole situation when Aaron had met Karen's mom and Miss Lisa ended up leaving and Karen came outside and he was apologizing for all the craziness and Karen was like well like I'm in it, like in spite of everything that's happened I'm in it, like I'm in this with you.
Yeah.
And it gave me the notion that she understands what's going on, however that's where she want to be,
Yep.
that's what she wants to explore, and it's just out there with Zach. My one of my biggest issues with Zach is the fact that he lies so much. He lied tonight when he told Fatima, he went to go see Gary, and Fatima was like, "Well, what? He pulled the gun out on me." And Fatima said, "Well, what did you do?" "I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing." "Oh, so you forgot you punched the hell out of him? Why did you lie about that?" "It took everything from me not to grab that gun and shoot him, but you did grab the gun."
And that's something
So
Fatima gonna
Zach
have
is
to find out
so with
about
a
when she
lot of
make it trying to make
yep.
bail for your ass and realize that there is no goddamn bail, and then that little tidbit of information is gonna fall out. You see,
Hmm.
Fatima, we done already told you. Keisha Bellamy says, another thing that sticks out for me too is that her mom never liked Aaron, and I don't know about you, but there's never been a guy that my mom hasn't liked, and he's been true blue. Mama always knows best. I don't know if I agree with that one.
I was going to say I personally don't agree that. With that, and and I had an issue with Miss Lisa with that whole situation because I do understand the severity of what happened with her daughter. So I think that alone, she already had an issue with Aaron, and I don't blame her. I would have had one too, because my child's life, well, at
Yeah,
that time,
yeah,
then the mama gonna come to the shop with a fake gun, all of that. That was my daughter's life, and then having to deal with everything, Fawn coming into the salon doing what she did, so on and so forth. The
yeah.
fact that she was blaming Aaron for what Fawn did, I said, "No, wait a minute now. Well, you were her husband. You should have known. You know how many people have did that and no one knew what they were dealing with.
Uh huh.
No one knew that the turmoil that person was enduring internally. So when I look at things like that, um, and then think about it. Miss Lisa liked Aaron because after all that happened when Karen got pregnant, who did Miss Lisa call to check on her?
Yep. Yep.
So she changed it. So if we
And she
gonna use it,
realized that she was mistaken as well. And I would even go to
she
before
was
that,
she was
like
wrong.
Miss Lisa,
Yeah,
like Zach. So like, Mama don't always be knowing. Uh, I can't. I don't. I don't want to apologize for this because it's relevant for me in reference to being top of mind. But like looking at Love Is Blind, like the girl who's with Clay, her mama gives me pick me, and I'm like, girl, you are doomed. Your mama is not helping you spot the red flags in this man because she just wants you to be picked so bad because she also just wants to be picked so bad. I think that's a very real thing. I don't necessarily know if Miss Lisa, I wouldn't call Miss Lisa a pick me, but I also don't trust all of Miss Lisa's relationship decisions because when we met her, she was riding on the back of a goddamn motorcycle with a man 20 years her damn junior talking about how she just get it how she live. And I'm just like, okay, girl, you got it.
I don't trust Miss Lisa in relationships because before she even got with Chris, she was with another dude, an older guy, who she was going out to the desert with. And then what? 4 episodes later, you talking about you in a full blown relationship with Chris since when? You was with an older man 4 episodes ago.
Yeah,
So I don't trust Miss Lisa when it comes to that. Now I do believe she definitely wants what's best for her daughter. But I
you're
think that
right.
initially when it came to Aaron, it was all the drama that was associated with him. And then once that died down and she was able to see the kind of person that he was, because she was basically saying I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I called Aaron. He should be calling you soon. Like what? Yeah, so that's one
Yeah.
thing I do like about Miss Lisa. If she feels she's wrong, she has shown on the show that she will admit to that and correct it.
But even yes, I agree. But then also, I also keep in the back of my mind that Miss Lisa also gets used sometimes against Karen. And I go back to this season of like the whole Zach can help you. Zach is gonna save you. Go to hell, mama. Go to hell, cause I can't. I
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
like
know
that
what the hell
conversation.
I didn't either.
But I get what
I
you're saying,
didn't
Keisha.
either.
Like I typically like you would hope that mama would knows best, but it's just a little bit more complicated when it comes to Miss Lisa. She has a lot of great sense and she makes great points. I thought that the letter exercise was brilliant. Television gold. However, I ain't gonna blindly just follow Miss Lisa in some relationship type stuff. No, we never got the full story about what happened to Brian. They talked about it in their little Twitter spaces, but I don't register anything as fact if I don't see it on my screen.
Right. What else happened on the show? Um, was that it?
Child, I think so. I'm drawing a damn blank, but I also got to go back and rewatch, and this is my damn fault. I need to pay attention the first time, so I don't gotta keep rewatching.
That's the main reason why I be taking notes so that I don't want to have to go back and watch the episode again.
Especially not when it's given. Like
So
I
I
want to
don't
go
want
back and rewatch Maggie original episode. What was that, episode 6 that Maggie just blew it out the park? This one, this one will never be visited
to.
again.
Maybe. Oh, baby, Pam at that darn law firm.
I said y'all just doing shit now. Like y'all are really just doing stuff. What do we? Pam here to incorporate. Is that what y'all trying to tell me? They have
But I did laugh.
LegalZoom.com for a reason.
I did laugh though. I ain't gonna hold you. When Pam was telling Andy what she was there for, she talking about something saving edges and lives, and she kind of paused and looked at Andy. She said, "Remind me to send you some." Pam, don't you do Andy like that? But that was funny.
She needed to because
I don't
Andy's
like it in my
always on
life.
the damn offense when it comes to her. With her little classes to lead his ass. I don't
Yes,
ever want to see Andy and Pam
yes,
in a scene together because it just makes me not like Andy.
yeah. I got a number for you. How about we head out together? I want to hire you.
Let's
You want to
vacate
hire
the
me?
building.
I'm not that type of lawyer. Girl, please. You'll be any kind of lawyer
You're
for
any
Fatima.
type of lawyer, apparently. What Hayden say? Let me take this case off your hands so you can go back there and help me, your little ghetto ass friends out of their problems.
I laughed on that. I couldn't help but laugh on that. That
Hayden
thing
is in
tickled me.
rare form this season, bro. Like, what? Hayden just confirmed that you are literally who the hood come to when they get in a mess. So you should be able to help Pam lickety split. But because that's Karen's other best friend, you want to Andy go to hell. Hey, a second. Let me go ahead and take this case off your hands so you can go back to helping your little ghetto ass friends.
Baby. That okay. So we find out that Andy has officially been hired by Miss Marie, but she
Yes.
wants Andy to have co-counsel as well, and Andy didn't like that.
But it also feels weird. Like Hayden is going to be your co-counsel, but Miss Marie was paying him dust. So like, how did that actually come about?
I need for that to make sense to me. I need that to be a little fleshed out. Because is he going to be the co-counsel?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, okay.
In the preview, it's like Hayden. Andy's like Hayden's weaseled his way onto my case.
Oh, okay. Well, we gonna see, child.
We will see.
Cause she sure looked a little like um that Hayden had her kind of like shaking a little bit.
Yes, Naps for Days wants to talk about Andy's outfit. Y'all have been
Oh my
upset about this
lord.
outfit ever since the trailer. I thought it was cute. It was definitely way too fashion forward for what the hell she's supposed to be doing. But okay. I mean, even Joan Clayton didn't go in the office looking like that. But all right, girl, do your thing.
I think and outfit was cute as that's what they said. Fire, but completely inappropriate. But that seems to be Andy's style.
Mm-hmm.
Inappropriate. I think the only and I think about Joan, and I think the only time Joan wore something crazy was when she was trying to get the attention of the partners. And it's like Joan, don't you ever come to work looking like that with that shirt on, sis.
Yeah.
But that is Andy. Just she just dresses like that, cleavage for days. I'm like, girl, this is not the club or going out to a brunch. You're at work.
Yeah. All the drama with these big ass sleeves. It's like you gonna knock somebody over, girl.
It's too much. But when Miss Marie told Fatima, "Oh, you can leave and you can quit with the ma'ams," I said, "Well, damn, okay, ma'am."
And why don't you get your cousin to handle that since she disrespected you since we getting our cousin for everything. That's also it. Like it just don't flow. Like I get it, Fatima, you gonna keep this job, but like her, like stuttering and whatnot. But then also you gangsta ass Tima. Pick a struggle, please. Pick one, cause I can't with the back and forth.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Well, y'all, I think that's pretty much it. We're up to the wee hours of the morning. Shout out to you, Allie. Thank you for holding it down while I had to handle something on this live. I didn't realize it was going to stretch
Okay,
this
no
long.
problem.
Um, Wednesday Talk says that Hayden was looking at Andy Butt when she turned around. I didn't see that. I'm about to catch a bunch of stuff because I'm about to rewatch it. I cannot miss this episode breakdown. Because I'm already behind one. So I got y'all. I'm gonna go rewatch it and get into all these little nitty gritty details. Ellie, you want to plug your most recent videos before we get out of here?
Oh, most recent, I released one talking about Danny and Karen and their friendship in the sister circle. Um, one of my Moesha videos is coming out tomorrow because I'm going through all of her relationships on the show. I'm only hitting the four
Ooh.
major ones. Moesha and Q, Moesha and Hakeem, Moesha and Aaron, and Moesha. Hold on, it was five. Moesha and Jeremy, and Moesha and Ohaji.
I was about to say, girl,
So
you cannot not
tomorrow,
do Ohaji's ass.
yeah. So I'm going in order, but I'm going from the bottom up. So I'm starting
Mm,
with Hakeem, then Aaron, then Q, then Ohaji.
gotcha.
So yeah.
So go ahead over to Ellie's channel. Her channel is linked in the description box down below. Sorry, y'all. Um, Yeah, I am traveling right now. However, I am going to be still putting out videos. I know it's been a little bit slower. I did drop my full Mia Coppola breakdown non-spoiler review to start. If you haven't seen it already, the first 10 minutes is a non-spoiler review. The other hour and 40 minutes, yes, I gave y'all an hour and 40 minutes in a scene by scene breakdown. Get into it. Go ahead and watch it. I do think that everybody needs to watch that film, and I do think most of the internet is lying saying that the film was trash. That's a spoiler alert for you as well for that particular breakdown. I do have a bunch of
And I
sisters
must
videos
say,
coming.
let me give you your props on that, Erica, because I said, "Oh my God, sis went scene by scene." Oh wow, that was yeah.
I felt like I
I
had
enjoyed it. Like
to.
I finished it today.
Oh,
I
thank
enjoyed it.
you. Thank you so much. I feel like I had to, just looking at the landscape and what other people were saying. A lot of people were summarizing and all of that. And I'm like, if I'm going to refute what a lot of people are saying, I want to like do it in full. Like I want to be very very thorough. Like some of the criticism is valid, but I'm gonna show you specifically the parts where that's actually valid too, but also tie it to like it doesn't ruin the rest of the whole damn film. And like let's go ahead and be specific. So, and it's also like I chaptered it out as well, y'all. So if there are specific scenes that you want to know or get like review or breakdown for, and you want to jump around, you can. Like I took a lot of time to put that review together, and all of it is chaptered out. So literally for all 52 scenes of the film, it's listed, and you can jump around if you want to. So hopefully y'all check it out and you enjoy it. And thank you for watching it, friend. I know it's a long one.
Oh no, I was at work and it kept me, it kept me entertained and all of it. So yeah, it was good.
I love it. So be on the lookout. More videos coming, y'all. Next week is going to be a little bit interesting. I know it's the mid-season hiatus, but I also am traveling, and I'm going to be traveling to New York next week. So this live is going to happen while I'm in transit. Please bear with me. I'm trying my best. I'm so sorry, y'all, but I promise you that I'm doing my best. All right.
Yes, you are.
We'll see y'all in the next
Good night,
videos.
y'all.
Not too much down on the bus. Boy, humble, so I never really fuss. Just show out when you show up and give me the